What I'm after is still out there. And I don't know where to start.
Travel every time through the darkness. I will run with nowhere to hide. Oh, it's a funny thing. You can't change what the future brings. It's hidden in your eyes. It's hidden underneath your smile. Cold rain hits like thunder deep within. A fever burns to my soul to rise again. Oh, it's a funny thing. A part of you lives inside of me. It's hidden in your eyes. Oh, it's hidden underneath your smile. Run through the fire, turn down the walls.
Golan-Globus, welcome back. Fun week last week. We did a wonderful little movie called Rad,
It
which
was quite rad.
it was quite rad. So rad, in fact, that if you have a theater that sponsors these Fathom events, you could have seen the movie in theater for its like 33rd and a half birthday or some shit like that.
It was 33rd and a third.
33rd and a third, Harry Potter style.
I thought you were talking about records.
Oh, yeah,
33rd
of course,
and a third.
33rd. Yeah, of course. You know, speaking of records, we're already off topic.
We're
That's all
breaking
right.
records.
I gotta say, I went when I was in Cincinnati. I managed to find the good, the bad.
Humble brag.
Humble brag. Cincinnati.
Very humble.
The worst thing.
Brag.
I drove across. Wanted to go 5 minutes down the road to get coffee in the morning. I had to go into Cincinnati, back into Kentucky, into Cincinnati again, into Kentucky, and then finally back into Cincinnati to get my coffee.
Just for
That was the route it took me. GPS. This was not a Griff route. This was a GPS route. Point is, I ended up
AI, man.
I ended up finding the good, the bad, and the ugly. What is that fucking movie called?
That's what it's called, yeah.
I bought that record for $5. I was at my local record shop. They wanted $40 for that record.
Yeah. I don't, the one, everybody's familiar with our Twitter knows I'm always putting up shit from Second and Charles.
Correct.
Yeah, their vinyl's getting really pricey, too. Everything's getting pricey. It's like, this is secondhand shit.
Yeah.
Get this shit out the door. Why are you holding on to this shit?
I don't get that. And it seems like that's
The
what
vinyl especially is very pricey. That's why I haven't bought vinyl there forever.
Yeah. All their used shit there is super expensive. Whereas when I was in Cincinnati, all that shit was like, let's get it out the door, guys. Let's fucking move this shit. I bought Spiritual Healing, the Death record, for $17. New. And I was just like,
I can't remember the last time I saw new vinyl for under $30.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It's frustrating because I do like to support people that way, but it's like, fuck, man, you're asking a lot of money for this shit. Yeah. So I don't know if it's rents that much or if they're really trying to gouge people because vinyl's in right now.
It's Biden's fault.
I also did get the To Live and Die in L.A. soundtrack. Wang Chung.
You're gonna Wang Chung tonight?
I'm thinking about it.
We're gonna have fun tonight because we're talking about The Hidden.
Oh my God, Murray! If you're talking about The Hidden, we got to talk about the fact that this might be the perfect mid-card movie. It doesn't compete
it's
with...
a B movie, and even the director admits the B movie, but it just proves it's not about budget.
Yeah,
it's not size. It's not about size, people.
No,
it's about how you work that instrument.
And Kyle MacLachlan can shake that dick everywhere. That's probably why your sisters took you to see that movie. They were like, "There's a chance."
We didn't know. See, I was talking with Griff. I saw this movie. I'm probably one of the few people who saw this movie in the theaters. I think this found a life on VHS. But this is the good old days we could see movies like this in the theater. You can't do that anymore.
It's weird. Like, if I go down the street, I can either get we do have a pretty good Indian population, so it's like Indian films, or it's some of the Oscar bait movies, that type of thing. And then there's like the one Disney movie that might be out. That's all.
There's one movie coming out I wanted to see, and of course it's not playing at the theater right down the street from me.
What's that?
It's called Late Night with the Devil.
Oh,
it's Mike. I was talking with Mike about it. I saw a trailer. It looked interesting. It's set in like a '70s TV talk show.
Oh, okay.
And it's a Halloween episode, like the show.
Yeah, that sounds
cool. And they're gonna have a demonic like exorcism, and it turns out it's real kind of thing. Because the guy thinks obviously this is all fake. This is just for TV.
Sure.
And it turns out this girl's really possessed by the devil. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounded cool, but it's not playing right down the street from me. I got to like drive to Rochester or some shit.
God
for
damn
that.
Don't
Don't
drive to Rochester.
I don't want to. Last time I got a ticket was in Rochester. But yeah, I remember it's me and this is one of the rare times me and both my sisters. Back in those days, me and Julie would go see my middle sister. We would go see the Van Damme movies, Seagal movies, those kind of movies.
Yeah.
I don't know why we were going. I think it must have been like we were going to see something and it was like sold out. I don't know because we weren't going to see that. I don't remember. It was just like, hey, that looks cool. We all did Kyle MacLachlan. Let's check that out. And then it's like, wow, this movie was fucking great. I expected nothing. This is rare in life that you have these experiences, and you must cherish them when you do. It's like the first time you hear Golan-Globus theater.
Goddamn,
you're
right
like,
it is.
This is what a podcast is supposed to be? And then and now you're like spoiled. You think this is the way it is. No, most podcasts suck. But much like most movies suck. But this movie is it's about ideas, people. It's not about throwing fucking CGI and thinking that's going to fix a turd. You can't polish a turd.
Right. It's a simple story with cool characters, cool action. It moves at a brisk-ass pace. It just keeps moving.
Right.
So you never sit there and just go, this is stupid. Move. Let's go. It's fantastic. And guys, if you haven't seen this movie yet, which what the fuck are you doing? Go watch this movie. Yeah. I'm going to give you 5 seconds before we start doing the spoilers, okay? Because you got to talk about it. I mean,
do yourself a favor. I mean, I said it last week, but we're going to say it again. Do yourself a favor if you haven't seen this. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere.
It's got to be streaming somewhere.
Go check it out because it's a good fucking movie. But I think we got the hip crowd. We got the cool people listening to us. I think most of them have seen it. But if you haven't, check it out first.
There was your 5 seconds. They're over now. So, Murray, great alien movie.
Yeah.
Probably the best one I've seen since, when I was a kid, Men in Black was fucking huge.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good alien movie.
That's also a movie where aliens are disguising themselves as humans.
That's right. It reminded me a lot of Edgar, who was the first guy to get the alien in him, and they did a lot more special effect with the skin and everything, which worked because there was a big budget. What they did here worked just as fucking well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all you need is a good story. I don't know why, and creativity. You need if you're like, we don't have a budget for this or that. It's like what they did with Jaws. The fucking shark was fucking up all the time. They're like, well, we'll have to figure out ways to imply that the shark, and it made the movie better.
So good. So good. I mean, especially just thinking about still, to this day, Jaws is so fucking intimidating of a movie. It still brings up the tension because fishing in the deep ocean, that kind of shit, is still one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Just being surrounded by nothing. Even with all the fucking equipment we have nowadays, still one of the most dangerous jobs.
Just 2 notes, man. Bum, bum. Bum, bum.
That's
Everyone knows it.
That's a John Carpenter influence soundtrack. It has to be. Like, that guy probably was like,
well, I'll give John Williams his own problem. John Williams has done a lot. He's won many an Oscar.
It was John Williams?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he probably said, you know what? I'm going to phone
I'm
this
not going to
one
call
in.
him a Carpenter hat.
He was probably like, I'm going to take a tip from him and put one hand in his pocket and the other 2 on a piano.
Oh, I thought you were going to say one hand in my pocket and giving a peace sign, whatever that Alanis Morissette
Yeah, I know.
is.
Jim's into it now, and now we're getting into it.
90s nostalgia is back.
90s nostalgia is back.
We're talking about 80s. 87 to be exact.
If you listen to last week's Rad episode, you may have noticed that I fucked up calling Clue a couple times. Clue Gallagher. That's his name, right?
Clue Gulager.
Gulager.
Lloyd Gallagher is the character that Kyle MacLachlan plays.
Oh, so it turns out Clue is actually in this movie.
Clue is the glue that holds this
is the
movie
glue.
together.
He's in two
Why
scenes.
was he in this? Because the director, Jack Shoulder, also directed Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Fucking
Freddy
classic.
Gets Fingered.
Oh,
Which, by the way, we've done. Go look for it.
not
Clue-
Freddy Gets Fingered, but
Well, no, that was the
Nightmare on Elm Street.
subtitle. Was
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy Got Fingered.
Dude, I watched that.
Remember, there was gay undertones in,
Yeah.
and overtones in Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Clue Gulager played the father.
I think it's funny you mentioned Freddy Got Fingered because I watched that fucking movie the other week.
Oh my God, why? I never got.
Dude,
Tom, what's his name again? Tom
Green.
Tom Green. Never got Tom. I never found him funny ever.
I was 11 when he came out. He was right in the wheelhouse for my comedic,
Yeah, I would have been 24. So yeah.
yeah. I thought I should like this guy, and I would watch him because some of the kids at school really liked him. I was like, what the fuck is this?
What I saw very little of him, but when I saw it, I was like, those guys poor parents. I felt bad for the parents. It's the same with Bam Margera.
Did you see the
on
Hulk Hogan tweet?
No, I did not.
Hulk Hogan just tweeted out, man, I wish my best friend Bam Margera was still alive. And then he signs it HH. And then Bam comments, I'm still alive.
The craziest thing is he signed it HH. Hail Hitler. You do 8-8.
8-8.
That's what the skinheads, the fascists in the know do.
I'm sorry, you were saying about Tom Green or something.
Yeah, he just irritated me.
So-
I mean, which is his thing. That was his comedy. Was
Yes.
being irritating, and it worked. But
Yes.
it didn't make me laugh.
Oh my God, I did not understand what I was watching. I was like, I'm not laughing at this guy.
I know
He
that
just-
a G&G favorite, Rip Torn, is in that movie.
Yes, he is fucking good in that movie. I
He's
liked
good in
him in
everything.
that. Yeah, I liked him in that role. But man, that movie and Roger Ebert. I watched the Red Letter Media guys talk about it,
Okay.
and the one was like, "Oh, this movie's hilarious. It's bad, but it's hilarious."
Which one
like,
was that?
The bigger guy.
Okay.
Yeah, the Plinkett guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "No, this movie makes me laugh a lot." There's a couple chuckles here and there, but for the most part, he like Roger Ebert's review of this movie was, I could see people looking back on this one day and saying it's some big artistic, statement, and I'd agree with
Has
that.
it happened yet? Because the movie came out like over 20 years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a
Are
Criterion.
we?
It's a Criterion
What the
As-
fuck is the criteria for Criterion? Because it seems like everything gets a Criterion.
As a Razzie, though,
Is there a hidden Criterion collection? 'Cause there should be.
I'm pretty sure it is. I think
Okay,
it is.
It should be.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it came on my radar. But anyways, he was like, but no one will ever see this movie as a comedy, to end Roger Ebert's review of this.
No
And
one will ever find this comedy funny.
yes, and he's 100% right about that. That movie was 90 minutes of grating. Unlike this movie, which is 90 minutes of pure bliss. I mean, I love every detail, down to the Secret Service using Uzis.
Yeah, and shoot him sideways. Hey, John Woo, did you see the hidden?
Yeah.
Because they're shooting guns sideways years before you started doing it.
Now, we're at the point now where everybody's already seen the movie that's
Yeah.
still listening to us. I didn't read any like blurbs about the movie. I didn't have any clue what I was walking into. That is
Well, it
the
starts out as a totally different movie. That's the beauty of this movie. It doesn't start out. You're not like thinking this is a sci-fi movie.
Yes.
Unless you know it.
right.
Which I did not know at the time.
So I'm just like hanging out watching this movie, and the opening scene, just guy wrecking shit up, and you're just like, okay, cool.
That's a cop movie.
Some kind of cop movie.
It's a
Lethal
buddy
Weapon.
cop movie. It's
yeah.
going to be like Beck's going to be the hothead, and Kyle MacLachlan's going to be the chill dude.
Right, and the fucking swerve you get at the 12-minute mark or so. They don't
Yeah.
make you wait that long. 20 minutes is apparently the amount of time it takes before the movie should tell you exactly what it is.
Right.
I keep hearing that. But we also get some G&G favorites.
Yeah. Should we hold off and point them out when they appear? I think we should tease the audience.
It's a little bit of a blink of the eye for one of them. I would
Almost
like
all of them are.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's because they were early in their career.
I
this
know
movie, this movie made so many stars.
It
And
really
we already said Clue Gulager. My favorite role, Ernie. Bert. Bert from Return of the Living Dead. It's my favorite Gulager
Right.
role. But
All right. Well, I know you want to surprise
'cause
me.
I guess I'm going to surprise Griff. There's a certain actor in this movie. He should know. Goes way back to our first ever episode of
No
Golan-Globus Theater.
way I could ever, unless it's Chuck Norris.
It's not Steve James. Okay, I don't want to get you excited. It's not Steve James.
Wow.
But
if I miss Steve James,
you're going to be shocked.
I am going to
Oh,
be
I laid
shocked.
this out on
it's
you.
probably going to be The Terror. Wait, was that our first one?
Yes,
Hero
Hero
and
and
the
the Terror.
It's been 5 years. I can't remember.
6 years. Almost 6 years. So, you got anything else, or should we just go to the trailer?
Well, no, you have a story about one of the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah,
Gold
the
tier.
soundtrack.
See, this is why I have to note down sometimes what we're going to talk
There's a
about.
lot of nobody bands and another nobody band that I know that most people probably don't know.
A lot of bands that sound like other bands too.
There's a band in this soundtrack called Hunters and Collectors. I believe they were either Australian or New Zealand. They were in my house, Griff. When I was a child. When I was around this time, when I was like 12 or 13, I don't know the exact story, but here it is. My sister Chris went to see, remember the band Crowded House?
No.
Well, they were like a 1 or 2 hit wonder. I think they were from New Zealand too. If not Australia, it was that area.
Okay.
They opened, Hundreds of Collectors opened for them. So she went to the show. She got on stage. It was my sister's birthday, which is next week actually. Wished her a happy birthday. I don't know remember, I was like 12. I just saw these guys for a second because something happened because they had like horns in their band, and something happened where horns got locked in a trunk or something. I don't think it was Chris's trunk, but somehow they had to come to our place. So this is like 3 a.m. They're at the house. I get up to take a piss, and I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I just took a piss and just went back to bed. And then, like, she told me a story later on, like later the next day. She's like, yeah, we had to drive. I don't know why she had to drive these people, wherever the fuck. 'Cause the show probably had been in Detroit.
Right.
So I don't know why they call it the Pontiac. But yeah, so yeah, I
That's fucking weird as
Yeah.
shit.
yeah. Hunters and Collectors, look them up, people. Spotify.
Now, since we are going to be talking about a alien slug, taking over bodies, do you want to do this later, or do you want to do it in the top half here? Who's our body? Who would we like to have seen in this movie?
I think the only guy who could embody a body being inhabited by an alien.
And for the audience, so you guys play along too. You comment somewhere. YouTube,
Yeah.
the Twitters, the somewheres.
Yes.
But the idea is you give us the actor, and they're in the movie for like a 10, 12-minute segment, just like every other actor.
First of all, the jury's still out whether this guy was inhabited by an alien in real life.
I know, right?
Wings Hauser, of course. Did you see what
Hauser.
Wings could do with it?
I know, and it would be the perfect.
And no lines, it's Wings. An evil alien is inhabiting your body. Go!
Yes.
And then he'd wing it.
Just like put him on a street and let him do his thing, because that's what this movie's about. Just walking until you see a Ferrari. And yeah. But of course, mine. I can't think of a better. Now, Wings, of course, that's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And my 10 out of 10 is Donald Pleasance. I just love that man and everything.
He's dependable. I mean, he has a workman-like attitude, even because he's been in a lot of shit. But
Yes.
he's never shitty in the
Yes,
shit.
exactly. We did Puma Man years ago, and he, shit movie, but he is fantastic in it.
Right. He's from that old school. We've talked about it. These old English trained actors, they're like, I can do anything. Like, I can't make the movie better. I can make my role better.
See, I can imagine how Wings is going to do it. Like, I can't imagine the things he'll do.
And they're totally, I'm glad you said Down Pleasance, because there's a polar opposite in the way they approach acting.
Yes.
Wings literally wings it.
Yes.
He's just like, I'm going to do my thing.
And so that's what makes Donald Pleasance so interesting to me if he was, inhabited by this alien. Because it's like, would he be crazy?
I could totally see him farting and like burping.
Yeah. Or is
Stomach gurgling.
Or is he going to be the usual, like, kind of snooty, uptight type Donald Pleasance who slaps a bitch around or something? Like, the thoughts, the imagination. This movie is the perfect platform for that kind
It
of thing.
inspires the imagination.
Right, unlike John Wick, which is just a boring movie.
Unless he got inhabited by an alien.
Who? John
John Wick, yeah.
That could be pretty funny. Sorry, I had to turn the water on for the cat. He only drinks out of the sink.
As any cat would.
They're just fucking assholes.
All right, we ready for this
We're
trailer? Well, all right, people. All will be revealed that is hidden after you see the trailer for this movie, for The Hidden.
I want this car.
Jonathan Miller would never do anything to break the law.
I need the keys. Thank you. Bye.
He is a very fine, very honest gentleman.
Something strange is happening to some ordinary people.
Yeah, that's Jack. Real nice man. What'd he do, rob a bank?
He's a law-abiding taxpayer minding his own business. Killed 12 people, wounded 23 more, stole 6 cars, most of them Ferraris. If anybody deserves to go that way, sure in the hell's him.
I've worked homicide for 13 years now.
I have never seen anything like this.
You trying to tell me that she's part of this?
Step out of the car slow.
I want answers, and I want them now. Explanation won't help you.
I want to know why it takes 15 shots to take down some sold-out stripper. Why 3 law-abiding citizens all of a sudden go crazy and start killing people.
We talking spacemen here?
Something gets in his way, he kills it.
Finds a body, gets inside, uses it to move around.
Try for one on the tire. If you think this is easy, why don't you try? Bye.
I guess a career in the police didn't really prepare you for this, did it?
The Hidden.
You think it's over now? You're wrong.
All right, we're opening up, and I'm seeing here already. Christopher Nolan took a little bit, from this movie for The Dark Knight. Open it up with a bank robbery and the credits rolling. That's exactly how the Joker movie started.
Yeah, but this is an interesting take on it. We're getting a security cam POV shot.
Yeah.
Which you don't normally see. Originally, it was going to be more like your classic bank robbery scene, but they just didn't have the time or the money. So the director just came up with it. He's like, "Look, we'll just look." Well, I mean, they went into like an abandoned bank, a real bank, and they just put up a security cam on there, and we're like, "We're going to shoot it that way," I will say, because we see our villain of the movie, we believe this is our villain. I can tell he's wearing a trench coat, and this guy is,
Or my new best friend Noah.
Oh, Noah's, of course, Noah's wearing a trench coat. By the way, people, negotiation. I don't know if people know this, but Griff's actually a billionaire. He just does this for like shits and giggles. So I'm contracted out to work with Griff, and my contract's up, and negotiations have been rough. And he's been dangling this Noah guy. Like, you can be replaced. Everyone's replaceable for the $1 Million Man. He likes to call himself the $1 Million Man, too. So, I don't know. This might be the last you'll ever hear of me. Anyway. So, he walks in. I got to say, the cop's very slow on the uptake because the guy's like fumbling with his fucking, because there's 3 cops walking out with like a bag of money, got the dollar sign. We know the international sign for money.
I love that. Do you like it with 2 strikes through it or 1?
2.
Yeah.
What is 1?
I've seen it with 1. I've seen it used with 1.
Well, that's offensive. I don't know what that means.
It's just supposed to be for cents. You get the 1, but
right.
dollars always supposed to have 2. I've seen it where people get lazy and they just do 1 strike, and it's like, no, 2.
And he just pulls out a gun and kills. He shoots like a I don't know what, something on the side, and then shoots 3 cops.
Right. He's taking everybody out. He even notices the security camera and smiles at it and shoots that.
Right. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be like a crazy killer, like Cops in the Pursuit of a Crazy Guy movie. That's what I'm thinking.
And we've studied so many, we've done these movies 100 times. We've seen so many bank robbery scenes and everything. And he usually...
I'm like, is this the Dead Presidents?
Point Break, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like...
Point Break? Is that it?
Yeah, it's Point Break.
I'm
is surfing season ending? What? Like, all these thoughts are going to my head. Which president is he supposed to be?
I'm expecting there to be a drummer in the alley, and they're like actually robbing the bank to the beat of the drum, and that's how they're like telling time and everything. No, there is no method. There is no pattern. There is just violence here.
To coin an old Tommy Lee band, it's a method of mayhem.
Okay.
Remember that when he did rap rock, Tommy Lee?
Dude,
the classic song "Get Naked."
Get Naked
with his rapper buddy T-Dog.
Are you sure? There's
a funny coincidence. He had a rapper guy named T-Dog. You know what his real name was? Tim Murray.
No.
And I do not want to be associated with this guy. I was not the guy. I wish I was in Tommy Lee's band. I got to admit, I was not that guy. I was not his rapper.
Well, you flow so well. I mean,
do. I spit fire.
That's one of the things I said, Murray, if we're going to sign this new contract, you're going to have to rap at least once a month.
Yeah, well.
You got to show it off. How do we grow the show? You start to flow.
Show me the money. So he just calmly walks out, shoots another cop as he's leaving.
Right.
And jumps in his Ferrari.
These are the first cops in all of time and space. Well, this is a white man walking out with money. So instead of just shooting first, he's like, sir, could you please, please consider putting your gun down and coming in peacefully?
But he's having none of it. He just shoots that cop point blank, jumps in the Ferrari, takes off.
So of course, we've got a whole cop brigade following behind.
The old school car chase. You've known it. You've seen it. It's just going through the streets of L.A. He makes a detour through a park.
That's right.
Runs over a guy in a wheelchair.
There is the paved path coming through. There's a man in a wheelchair being pushed through by the nurse, getting outside, getting some fresh air. She sees the car barreling down on them. She just fucking jumps, leaving the poor guy in the wheelchair.
While we're driving, you got to have your tunes. And this guy loves his metal.
Yeah.
So he's just blaring the fucking "On Your Knees." I don't know. It's a very Dio sounding song. It's not Dio. I don't know what this band was called. Shock Paris. Was that the name of the band?
Yes, I believe that was it.
Oh, we do. But this is we're doing tropes. And there wasn't a fruit stand, but there is guys with a pane of glass crossing.
Yeah,
but they changed it up a little because one guy gets splattered.
Yes.
And great stunt. The guy busts out the windshield with his body, rolls off the Ferrari. And he doesn't care. He's like, I don't give a shit. I can have any Ferrari I want. So he's just slamming into cars.
Yeah, I feel like in movies nowadays, you get like 45 stunt or fight coordinators and no more stuntmen. When I ended up seeing most of the credits at the end, there was like 20 or something stunt people for this movie.
Low budget movie, man.
Low budget. You got to get all the stuff.
All right. And now we see the cops are preparing a roadblock. And this is where we meet our hero, Tom Beck.
Yeah.
I hated him at the beginning. He grew on me as the movie goes on, but he's trying so hard to be Kojak, and you can't be Kojak.
Oh, you think so?
He's like Kojak just comes on any scene, takes control. That's what Tom Beck tries to do.
We do get a lot of, and you know what? I can't blame him completely, but I guess it's kind of another Kojak vibe here, because his boss, Clue, is like, Tom Beck's the best guy on the staff. You can't take him from me. I need him. He's the best. Literally, the city will go to shit without him.
Right.
Quote from later in this movie.
Right.
But Tom's out there because he's trying to track down a robber.
Jack DeVries. Yeah, him and his partner, Cliff Willis, who we're familiar. I don't even know the guy's name, but if you see this guy, you know him. He played every other hench or cop in every 80s cop movie.
He's not quite there with, what's Ron Howard's brother? Clint Howard. He's not quite Clint Howard's face, but it is a very memorable face.
Yeah, what's distinctive, he has super light blue eyes. He has like almost like Italian look to him or Hispanic look to him, but he's really like piercing blue eyes, so he stands out.
Speaking of piercing blue eyes, I watched fucking Cyborg again recently, and that movie holds up. I don't remember if we talked nonstop about the fucking obnoxious ass music though.
No, we were baby podcast.
We were
that was our
babies
second
back
episode.
then.
We're gonna talk about our first episode later. That was our second episode.
But my God, the fucking Full Moon soundtrack for that movie was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. But no, it's not rough in this movie because Tom Beck's like, hand me a gun. And he just grabs a shotgun, sets up, waiting. Okay, so now we see Jack DeVries, our killer, driving up toward it. You do notice he can clearly see the blockade. There's side streets galore. He can just go down to. He's like, fuck it. I'm going through this police blockade.
Right. We're like, what is this? Again, this guy's method is just, there is no agility here. It's just plow straight through. Right. Just go right through. Any kind of opposition that comes his way, I'm just going to blow right through you. So, of course, he's sizing it up. He's doing all the math. He's putting the numbers Matrix style together, and he says, no, I'm just going to drive through it.
The quickest path is a straight line, Gro.
So all the cops start unloading on him. Beck got his shotgun, too, so he's fucking
Someone is screaming, it's a black guy in the car, and they just go to town. It's L.A. cops.
There is always
80s L.A. cops.
There's always the one guy on the police force who identifies everybody as a 6'9" black man, armed. And that is what clues every other nervous cop who's like, I don't think this is a black man. I think this is a white guy. But no, you have that one guy to spot, and he says it, and then everybody's like, well, we better shoot now.
They fucking unload a barrage of bullets. The Ferrari swerves off,
It crashes through the cars.
Does it?
Yeah, it goes right through the barricade.
So much for that blockade.
And we're like, he won again. His method of straight through. It's Donald Trump.
By the way,
politics.
DeVries is
go
eating
through.
bullets. He's just rushing it off, and then the car finally crashes. He just stumbles out holding his bag of money.
I want to say, can you help me with the description of this current body he has here? Because it kind of reminds me. I could see him being like an American Psycho type character. He's not slicked back hair or anything, but he's got nice glasses. It looks like he's got a nice haircut and everything. He looked like...
Well, that was the point. We kind of glossed over it, but before the blockade, we see Beck and Willis talking to a neighbor of DeVries.
Yeah,
and he is like he's like saying, this guy's a great guy. What are you talking about?
Right.
Because they're like, this guy's robbed 6 banks, fucked an old lady, did some crazy shit.
Right, completely
shit on the street, and like
that's the worst offensive.
Yeah,
he got a hot dog and didn't put a condiment on it.
That's sick. So there, he's like, "What are you talking about?" So he's supposed to be like this square.
Right. He just seems like a guy who might have had a falling down moment. That's what we're kind of left with here. Sorry to bring
that's a movie we should probably. I've never seen it. We should do Falling Down. That's such angry white man.
Dude,
movie.
I read quite a bit about that recently, and that was like
even back then. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck are they doing?
It influenced so many bands back then. Apparently, like so many thrash bands. Fucking Dave Grohl was like, that movie's fucking
Dave Grohl.
I think so. And then they've had to all be like, yeah, when I age, I realize this movie's fucking stupid as shit. Like,
it's Angry White Man, the movie.
Exactly.
Anyway, so he just gets out and just laughs. And they just unload again on him, blow the car up.
You're not allowed to laugh at a cop.
Yeah.
That's offensive to them.
They're very sensitive.
They're very thin-skinned.
So the car blows up. He goes flying.
See a great dummy go flying towards the camera. It's awesome.
Cut to DeVries in the hospital. He's on life support. Beck is checking in. Doctor's like, I don't care what this man did. He deserves some respect. What the fuck were you doing? And then Willis goes, look, pal. Look, man. He dropped the look, man. So it's serious.
That's right.
6 banks. He chopped up 3 kids. He ate a hot dog without a condiment. He shit on the street.
He put ass pennies in a wishing well.
He shit in a public toilet and didn't flush.
Oh my God.
Right. He pissed all over the seat after he took his shit.
He went out in drag and read a story to kids.
Oh my God, this guy's sick. He's like, he deserved it, and they just walk off.
All right, so now we're going to be meeting. We're going back to the police headquarters, I believe, at this point.
Yeah, this is where we see Lieutenant Masterson,
Clue?
our super. No, Clue is Captain Flynn.
Oh, okay.
Ed Flynn.
Ed Flynn, okay.
And we can learn that Senator Holt, who's going to run for president, he's been teasing us.
Yep.
Like, maybe he's going to run, maybe he's not.
And we know this in today's politics. You always got to tease it. You can never actually say it until the exact right moment.
And they're like, and Captain Flynn, played by Clu Gulager, is like, I need my super cop back to be the bodyguard for this guy.
This is the conversation I was telling you guys about because they want. Is it Masterson?
Masterson's like wants to give him Willis.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I need Super Cop back.
Yeah.
And then Masterson's like, I need Beck.
Right.
I'll lose my job if Beck takes a day off.
Right. The whole city's got to go to fucking ruin. The whole speech I gave a minute ago. And so those two, I forget who it is who leaves. I think it's Clue who leaves.
Yeah.
Slams the door shut. And he's going out to tell fucking Willis what's going on. But inside the office, inside Masterson's office, we get a new character walking up. It's Kyle MacLachlan.
Lloyd, FBI agent. Lloyd, the first FBI agent that Kyle MacLachlan's played.
Yeah.
Lloyd Gallagher. And he's looking, he probably had the most 80s suit of everybody in this movie.
You thought it was big?
It was, well, it was 80s and 90s. It was 80s. It was like, the beginning of Suits was happening in the late 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was quasi Miami Vice, not really Miami Vice.
It wasn't a weird color? I don't remember.
Well, did you notice? I did
out.
notice. I think you noticed too, because we have these eyes. That there was that puke green paint in the the precinct.
What was that?
That was done by the art director because he wanted to give you an unsettling feeling, and it worked.
Yes.
Because it did disturb me. It was a
Okay.
gross green.
It
'Cause
was.
They were actually filming this in a real abandoned jailhouse.
Why are we not being used for more? We had an abandoned jailhouse in
Half of Detroit is abandoned.
Yes.
All right, come here, Hollywood.
Don't CGI it. Do the real fucking thing.
Right. And so Lloyd Gallagher comes in. He's like, I'm FBI. He's like, I guess he's going to be working. He's on the trail of DeVries.
Yeah, but all we hear in this conversation, he's telling Masterson, I'm here, I'm looking for DeVries, I'm going to be taking Willis. Or not Willis, excuse me, Beck.
I think,
He just tells him.
Yeah.
He says, I'm here with the FBI to find DeVries, I'm taking Beck.
So now we go out to the bullpen where the guys are doing the paperwork. It's finished fucking this big shootout.
That's right.
Beck is like, fucking paper. He's like, it's like the classic cop. I don't have time for paperwork. Nerds like Brem do the paperwork.
I have streets to save. I need to be out there solving crimes.
And we're building a little camaraderie with the cops. We're having a little paper ball shootout with a trash can.
Oh, that's right. Was it Willis? Couldn't fucking sink it?
Of course, because he's white. Because he's white.
White.
And then we get Sanchez, Ron Dirty Sanchez.
Who is all the way across the office, does a fucking little dribble, step up, back up, fucking... He can't even see the trash can, and he hits the shot.
Right. So Beck learns he's going to be working with Gallagher, Lloyd. And so he's just like, gets that paperwork out, walks over to Brem, the nerd of the bullpen.
How they shot this, too, is so good. He gets up, starts doing the slow
Don't do it, Beck.
over.
Don't do it. Don't.
I haven't seen my wife in 2 weeks. Of course, Willis knows an opportunity when he smells it, when he hears it. Oh, I just saw your wife last night, and I fucked her, and it was pretty all right. She's still ugly as shit. Cops have a sense of humor.
Right.
They're thin-skinned on the streets, but in the sheets, they're thick as a brick.
Right. Band of brothers. So he drops off that paperwork and goes up. Of course, Tom Beck, super cop, works with no one. So he's already bristling having to work with an FBI agent, especially a Fed.
Right, and we know how our division of enforcement works. They don't. They hate each other. They despise each other.
As it should be.
Right.
It should always be at odds.
Back to blue actually does mean fuck everybody. Literally everybody else except the blue. So I don't know what the FBI's color is. Is it black?
Men in Black.
Yeah, I mean, it could be back in black.
So he's just like, you know.
Oh, yeah, he asked him about the riot, and he's just like, well, good thing I don't have to bother getting up. Your guy is unconscious in the hospital right now.
And Lloyd just rushes off without saying a word.
It's like, you don't need to fucking go fast. He's unconscious.
He's not going anywhere.
But we are.
Cut 2. The hospital room. DeVries lying there. He wakes up. He was on a ventilator. He yanks it out. This is back in the old days when you had to share rooms in a hospital.
Right.
So he's got a patient next to him, a guy, John Miller. And he's a big fat guy, and he's just on a ventilator himself.
Right.
So this is where it gets interesting, because I'm like, I think it's a cop movie. It's a crazy, like this. Now I'm like, maybe this is a Terminator. I don't know what DeVries is.
Right.
But I did not see this coming.
Good call, because the way he takes bullets and everything is kind of Terminator-like.
Gets up, hovers over Miller, opens his mouth, and then he opens his mouth, and then a fucking giant slug creature, and you're like, what the fuck?
That, I mean, I think...
First you see like 4 legs. Like, see, this is the one thing, and this is why Cronenberg movies disturb me. I have a thing about body horror.
Yes.
That's the one thing. 'Cause any like a creature living inside me makes me so fucking nauseous.
Yes.
Even like a tapeworm. Ugh.
Oh my God, no. Even a tape, any small bug,
Yeah.
a fucking, because Millie's gotten 2 ticks on her now in the last year. To think of me having to pull a tick off myself, it disturbs me. Anything that burrows into your
I'm
skin.
so glad I'm a man, because even the thought of pregnancy nauseates me. Just having a fucking anything living inside you, like wriggling around.
Yeah. Oh my God, terrifying. Just
so this is working for me, because it's a giant fat slug creature with like little legs in the front, and then like
it's gross
those,
as shit.
Those like clear like Chinese noodles in the back for some reason.
Yeah,
like the tail.
I'm glad you. I mean, I actually did watch Videodrome the other night too, because I love that movie. But just all that, like when he's shoving the cassettes in his stomach. Oh. God damn, man.
Well, this is an alien. So now we know, oh my God, okay, this is an alien movie. Now we know. And the thing goes right into Miller's mouth. Goes right in there. Even though it looked like it wouldn't even fit, because it's this giant, this slimy slug creature.
I know. It's crazy, because at first it looked like it was going to be a spider with the legs in there, and then it's like a slug, and you're just like, okay, let's go. Let's fucking go, movie. And that's like where it seemed like most of the special effects went to. Is that one scene.
Right.
Now we know.
It was good, though, because the face of Miller looked like a real guy. And it was like obviously a rubber face.
Well, that's the thing. It looked really fucking good. You don't need to show it 9 more times. You don't need to keep giving us 5-minute chunks of the alien moving body to body.
Right.
Show us it once so we know what it does, what it looks like, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then we can do the rest now later.
Right. Exactly. So he crashes because he was on a ventilator. So the doctor rushes in.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the fucking paddles. Clear. I want to say the director pointed out, he's like, these 2 actors were atrocious. He's like, sometimes you just got to take, on these 2 movies, you got to take what you can get. These 2 are awful. And they were pretty bad.
What do you mean?
The doctor and the nurse, he said, were awful.
Oh, okay.
So, because he goes, ah! Like goes flying off after he hits him.
Yep. I know what you mean. Just by overacting and everything, acting with a capital A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Miller gets up. He wakes up and just walks out of the fucking hospital.
Right. He actually, if I remember that correctly, he shoots like the lightning electrode back at.
Yeah, I don't know.
They do a couple things like that.
I mean, they do a good job of giving us the rules and sticking to it. And that's all I ask. I'll go for the ride.
Yeah.
You establish a set of rules and then follow them.
So they added this rule where it's like he can fucking reflect the energy, but you know what? It didn't really make a difference. It didn't play in anything later. It was just another thing to be like, this is not real. We don't know. And I think that's even creepier about an alien movie.
So Lloyd shows up like right after Miller leaves. And the doctors are like, and the guy's like, what? He just got up. What the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, excuse me, who is, what? He's looking for DeVries. So he's just like, and DeVries' body's like dead laying there next to the bed.
Right.
And then he's like, he knows, we're assuming he knows that there's an alien and that he's gone to the next body. So he needs to know who that guy was next to him.
Yeah. And this is where we get some of the exposition dump on John Miller, and that he's got this horrible gastro issue and everything,
Right.
and that
he's got like heart disease and all that shit.
He's got a very special diet. He has to eat very carefully. And again, they do this in fucking 40 seconds, and it sets up other scenes later on in the movie. That's all. It's tight writing. It's simple writing.
Right. Well, you got 90 minutes, people. That's all you need to tell a story. All right, so Miller, where's he at? Well, he needs to get some tunes first.
Yeah, he's down at my local place. Everything's overpriced. The guys are wearing that guy was wearing a bigger jacket. I noticed that.
He was hip.
He was hip.
And,
too hip to be
and
square.
because he believes that the stuff's overpriced, he pulls a Griff and is like, I'm taking this shit. And then starts getting all the cassettes, put them in his pocket.
Well, I mean, it is a Griff move, but I wouldn't waste my time on cassettes. So that's a Murray move.
87, that's what you had, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true.
Because CDs were like $20 goddamn dollars.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And all you had you had a cassette tape in your car.
Yeah.
I had one till like early 2000s, okay? Cassette deck in my car.
Hey, I've bought 3 cassettes in the last year, so.
That's a new cool thing to get cassettes now.
Well,
I hear.
I thought I had a cassette player that worked. It actually doesn't work.
Cassettes suck. I mean, I had them because I had a necessity.
Yeah,
they do
out of
suck.
necessity, exactly.
So, but he's out of necessity. He's just taking them. The guy's, hey, asshole, what the fuck?
Grandpa, put down the merchandise.
And then he what was it, like a club, a pipe? I don't know, some weird cylinder, a dildo. I don't know, an Andre the Giant dildo. And Andre's gonna take care of you if you don't fucking do this.
I'm gonna introduce you to my little friend Andre. He ain't so little.
And Miller just fucking grabs him and starts beating the shit out of him with my beating with Andre, because he's just slamming Andre onto this guy, kills him.
Fucking just like, I think he threw his head.
Yeah, through the
because it's the glass
display,
jewel case. Yeah,
display case.
And then he realizes after he does that, he's like, oh shit, there's a fucking sweet ass boombox down here. Grabs that.
Before that, he goes to the till, opens
he
it
could
up,
have done it in either order.
grabs the money, and spots there's a little gun in there.
Yep.
So he's got a gun now.
So he's got a gun.
And then, I'm doing it this way because the director pointed out, it's subtle, but what we learn through this movie is the evil alien he's an incel and a nerd. So he sees a poster of guys rocking out with a boombox. He's like, I got to have that boombox. He's cool people.
Fucking Christ, that's so good.
So he grabs the boombox and starts cranking the tunes because he loves punk and metal, so he's rocking out.
Now, since you brought up the posters, I watched a lot of movies recently. I've been killing it.
Hey, I wanted to get an under 3-hour movie. Griff is insisting.
We're doing great on time.
Okay.
I watched Just One of the Guys last night for the first time ever.
Preparing.
I wanted to ask you, would any teen boy ever have as many Playboys
I think what that was the parents were out of town.
It was.
And yeah, that's why you would do that.
Okay, so it was just for the
Yeah.
weekend type
Yes.
thing. And then he was going to, okay. Because I was just like, man,
No,
we
you-
all had our ditch
no.
board, but
Yeah.
obviously that shit was stashed away. It
No
was the
mom would
80s.
allow that.
Yeah, it was the 80s that crazy where mom would walk into their son's room and be like, well, at least he's straight.
No. You had to hide it underneath the mattress. That's where I hid
Exactly.
my Playboy.
Yeah.
So he's just rocking out with the tunes and takes off. So Lloyd goes back to the fucking precinct and he's like, here's the new guy. We're after Miller. And he's like, what are you talking about? DeVries is dead. Case closed. Go back to where the fuck you're from.
Yeah, Beck starts he does a quick little number crunch. This is the first police detective in 87 to actually take a typing class because he could... Nailed it. Like in a second, he's got it all killed out. Home row.
We get the fucking printer coming out.
Yeah, dot matrix printer. Pulls off the because you have to rip
Well,
that
first
thing with
he's
authority.
like, who did the fucking Four Horsemen printout again? He balls it up, throws it in the trash.
Now, you want to get shit on me for my shit, but that is a reference that maybe 2 people will get, and they might just be us.
And then he gets the criminal record of Miller, and there's nothing on it.
It's a parking ticket. That's all it was. It was
Right.
a parking ticket. And he's just like, motherfucker, I am the cop in Hollywood. Where are they in Hollywood? L.A.?
L.A.,
L.A.?
yeah.
I am the L.A. cop. Wings Hauer ain't got nothing on me. I don't fucking handle parking tickets. Enjoy yourself. Go do this one yourself.
So he's set to just relax. Hey, Beck, we got a murder at a record store. So he's like, my job is never done. So he heads out to this record shop.
And
Lloyd hears this, by the way, in the background, and then rushes out.
Right. And so we get down to the record shop. We're inspecting the body with Beck. He's looking over everything. And he's like, what the fuck is going on here? What's the rap sheet on this guy? He's got a parking ticket violation. Now you're saying that this guy's suddenly out.
Well, at the time, they don't know who did it.
Oh, they didn't know who did it. Okay.
But Lloyd knows because he knows. He's been tracking this guy for 9 Earth years.
So they're asking all the questions. Meanwhile, Lloyd happens to be in the background interviewing a witness.
Right. And she's talking. I think he showed her the picture he got from the hospital of Miller, and she's like, "Yeah, that's the guy."
Right. And so that, of course, brings Beck over, and he's got to fucking get this FBI stooge off his back. What the fuck you doing here? I'm just checking up on some traffic tickets.
Come out here. Drags him outside. He's got to maintain authority.
Did I not just say it? He is L.A. cop. This is his territory. And you got the fucking FBI's coming in trying to take over it.
And he's like, look, your case is closed. Let me do my job. And then fucking Lloyd no-sells him and just walks off. Apparently that
Excuse me, is John Miller here?
Yes, that was a little... That was a little... If you didn't pick up on that, it's belched into the mic. But I want to point out something behind the scenes tonight.
Please.
So Michael Nouri, who played Beck, who, by the way, it's gonna be all tangents. I have a Michael Nouri tangent. He was on a show. Sosie or Corey, I think you're gonna remember this. I think you're the only people that will remember this.
They're the only people who know your Four Horsemen reference.
It was a show that lasted like half a season. I want to believe I was like 4 or 5 when it was on. So it was like 78, 79. I think it was called Cliffhanger, and it was an anthology show. So there are 3 stories that happened during the show, and then it would continue with each episode.
Okay.
One was a vampire one was, I think, an alien one, and I think one was like a Adventure Raiders of the Lost Ark type one. Okay. So maybe it was like 80, 81. The vampire one, Michael Nouri played the vampire in it. I just want to point that out. Nice. But so Michael Nouri, the director was like, I met him, and I'm like, God, this guy's handsome. He's like smart. He's funny. How come this guy isn't a big star? And he's like, I learned later on when I did the movie why. Because he was a huge pain in the ass. He was one of those guys like questioning him, is directing all the time. Like, I think Beck should do this. There's a lot of that shit.
Oh, okay. I actually had a moment where I was like, is this Harry Truman from Twin Peaks? I kind of saw
he's got a little Paul Michael Glazier from Starsky and Hutch too in there.
Yeah, it's just kind of like that hair and the darker features and everything. I was like, is that him? And it's 4 years before Twin Peaks.
It's not, but yeah.
It's not.
So yeah, he's just like chewing him out, and Lloyd just walks off.
That's right. And
so now Beck goes back to the precinct with the witness from the record store, and he's having her get a sketch done, like sketch artist.
If you guys are up to your fucking like internet culture, I don't remember what year this came out. I feel like it was the mid 2000s. They do this sketch of the fucking leprechaun in the one. That's what this is. It's a terrible sketch.
But it looks enough like Miller that he's like, whoa. The fuck, maybe this Lloyd guy's onto something.
Right.
Because he saw the picture.
Right.
And then Lloyd's just hanging out there. He's loitering, if you will.
Oh my God, I hate you.
And he's just like... He goes up to Lloyd, what's the deal with this guy? And then Lloyd's like, they're working together. They're a team. And he's like... well, what about his fucking criminal background? They switch identities, fool.
Yeah, Lloyd is being pretty cagey. He seems to know a lot. He's being very cagey, and Beck is.
He always has an answer for whatever Beck has.
And it's always 3 words. Right. It's very simple, very to the point, without a whole lot of detail. Beck's had enough. Again,
and I want to point out, Kyle MacLachlan. I'm not kidding. Great performance by him.
10 out of 10.
In that you can tell there's something off about Lloyd, but you don't know what. He's a little like awkward.
Again, if you didn't watch this
You'd say he's on the
movie-
spectrum now.
Yeah.
But back in the 80s, we didn't have that. So.
If you didn't watch the movie before listening to this, you're ridiculous. Go watch the movie. Stop doing this to yourself. This is the best movie to just watch. But yeah, so Beck had enough. Again, gets his one-word answer from Lloyd, and it's just, give me that fucking picture. Because instead of using the sketch, they have a picture of
he
him.
grudgingly admits that Lloyd's right. That's his way. Because they're right now. Remember, all great relationships start with hate. So there's tension between these two. There's no really hate coming from Lloyd. Lloyd's chill.
And here's what I appreciate about Beck is that he could have used his sketch, but he was like, no, I'm going to take the Fed's evidence and I'm going to use it because at the end of the day, it's about protecting my citizens.
Right. So they walk out to the parking lot, and Lloyd's like, hey, I'll drive. And then so we get a nice little scene where we just see a big fucking Tonka truck.
I don't even think we got to it. They agreed to go back to the record store.
Yeah.
To go look for...
clues. Who knows?
For clues, yeah.
So Lloyd's like, I'll drive. And then so we don't see his car because it's hidden by this big truck. And then we pan.
Oh, that's why they call it the hidden.
Oh, exactly. That's why it's called the hidden. And they pan, talking about me and fucking punk. So they pan to the front, and it's a fucking Porsche.
Yep.
And he gets in, and he fucking peels out and takes off. And Beck's like, how much was this cost? He's like, I don't know. And he's like,
oh, let me guess. You just stole this?
Yeah.
So, it's like Beck sees this as this fun little ice-breaking moment where Lloyd is showing him a little sense of humor, a little fun.
They're breaking the ice.
Breaking the ice.
All right, what's Miller been up to? Well, he's got to eat, and he's in a diner. And he's just blasting that fucking punk rock music.
I for a minute, I was like, is this early Sonic Youth or something? It had a Kim Gordon vibe to it.
Because
to me.
it was Concrete Blonde. That's why.
Is she in Concrete Blonde?
No, but they were in that same realm.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Concrete Blonde never really made it big. I think they had one hit. But he's blasting that, and he's eating to the beat of the fucking song. He's swinging his fucking fork. And we'll learn in this movie. These aliens, they can drive like fucking stuntmen. They can shoot like expert marksmen. Food is hard for them.
I'm telling you, these motherfuckers, they see like it is the Matrix. They are Neo behind the wheel, and when they're shooting a gun and shit like that. But yes, me and Murray were killing each other just talking about the way they eat. And then it even popped something else into my brain and made me think about this movie in a whole new light. Universal Soldier with John Claude, when he was eating, he was doing the same thing where he's looking at the fork and investigating as it goes into his mashed potatoes and meatloaf. And he's just like, what the fuck did I just do? And that's how he's eating.
I was impressed that an alien was eating broccoli. He's still eating healthy. I think he was eating cheeseburgers and shit.
I was going to ask you if you noticed what he ate.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did. He had 4 pieces of Wonder Bread just cut on a little plate, but then he had the broccoli, he had the carrots. He went to a diner, and he was like, when you go to an American diner, you have to order that specifically. And he did.
You have to call it ahead of time for them to do that. Because they don't have the broccoli prepared.
That's our Peking duck. Yeah. You have to call in the vegetables. Guys, I'm going to come in tomorrow. I want some vegetables with my coffee and French toast.
And he's like they said, he's like a 2-year-old eating, swinging his fork around.
Blasting that fucking Concrete Blonde's music. People
farting and
people are turning and staring at him because he's making a scene. I thought one guy was getting ready to get up and confront him because he was there with his family. That doesn't happen. But yeah, he starts farting and belching, and the 2 waitresses are talking to each other. And she's like, "That's your fucking guy. That's your table. That's your table."
And then he notices a TV up on the wall. Turns down the fucking Concrete Blonde. Hey, turn that up. Turn that up. And it plays.
That was. I don't think you watched Men in Black, but that was also how I forgot his name, Ed or whatever. That's how he talked too. Yeah.
So we see the story we learned earlier with Clue Gulager that the senator's coming to town, and he's just teasing. He's like, Senator, are you going to be running for president? Are you going to announce it? Maybe.
Modern politics.
And then he gets in his car, drives off, and then he's just
Huge
like,
applause
Yeah.
is what he sees. Our alien, John Mitchell.
and we said this guy's a loser incel, so he wants to be like adored and worshipped. So he's feeling a little jealous about that applause.
What political campaign didn't get started because you wanted to be adored and applauded?
No, it doesn't happen.
Doesn't.
These people want to make the world a better place.
Oh.
Nothing to do with ego.
You're right. You're right.
And so he looks out the window and he sees a Ferrari, and we notice the alien loves his Ferrari. That's his car. So he just literally just runs out, tries to chase it down. Like we said, he's like a hammer. He's not like a scalpel. And he just and he's in this fucked up body. He's farting and fucking and he's like, I thought he was gonna die right there. He's like wheezing and shit.
Again, we joke around a lot in our Terminator episode about yes, the robots figured out the perfect person to blend in with humans is Arnold Schwarzenegger. If they really wanted to blend in, it would be the hidden.
Right.
You would blend in with anybody, and you would be able to
Exactly.
chase down the car because you'd be a cyborg underneath it all.
Right.
But I love this is why this movie just works so fucking well, because the aliens are stupid, ignorant to the human body. So of course it jumps into a fucking flawed
The
ass
nearest body it had to go
The
to.
nearest because it needed to get out.
Yeah.
It needed to jump. He broke the fuck out of the
Yeah,
last
they never
one.
really explain how long, if maybe
Yeah.
they can stay out of a body. Does it need to be in a body? Like, we don't know. They never really explain that. Which I'm
Right.
fine with. I
Fine
don't
with.
need the fucking exposition.
Yes,
I'm along for the ride.
Exactly. The ride is perfect the way it is. Maybe it could have gone for a 10 out of 10 movie. It doesn't need to. This is such a fucking good movie by its own merits. But yeah, they could have done the whole thing. They gave us 4 hours exposition. This is how long they have in the body. That's what the sequel would have been. And everyone would have been like, this is not good.
They did a sequel to this movie.
They did?
And it's horrible. Do not watch this movie. Do not watch that movie.
What was that one called?
Hidden 2.
It was just Hidden 2?
Hidden 2. Kyle MacLachlan is not in it. Michael Nouri is in it for a little bit. It's about the daughter as an adult. It's horrible.
Of course it is.
I never even watched it all the way through. It was that bad.
Was it?
But it had something to do with like the alien laid eggs or something. Sort of. There's a bunch of those slug aliens around.
Why would a slug lay eggs?
I don't know. And it was a male alien. Like they were playing it like it was.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's awful. Don't watch this. Don't watch that.
American males.
All right, so Beck and Lloyd, their only lead is that fucking record store, so they go back.
And Lloyd's whole idea is, all right, well, there was no Ferrari nearby, so he left on foot. You telling me this motherfucker left on foot? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Well, you need to start giving me more details. Stop giving me this fucking one-word answer. And so they're fighting it out again. And I forget what they get to. Did I write on the second page what they fucking get to in this conversation?
Well, he's just like, how are these law-abiding citizens? Why are they stealing and killing? And he's like, if he sees something like it, he'll just take it. And someone gets in his way, he kills them. That's the way these guys work.
Yeah.
So now we're back to Miller. He's finally just having to stumble on a Ferrari/Lamborghini dealership. And that's the car he loves. He's a Ferrari dude. So he's like checking out the Ferrari, and then a car Ferrari just happens to drive up. Guy's getting taken a test drive. This guy is probably the only guy who had a more 80s suit than Kyle MacLachlan. This guy with his white suit.
This guy looked like he was straight off the set of Scarface.
Yeah, or Miami Vice.
Or that.
And we get the guy, the car dealer. They're talking. The guy's like, I don't know if I want to turn in my Lambo. He's like, hey, man, this Ferrari's hot. He gets pussy magnet, pussy wagon.
I like how we throw around the hot cars. We got the Porsche. We got the fucking Lambo. Or, Lambo's mentioned. Yeah. Later on, we get the guy in the Lambo jacket, though. Like, there is a war between the fucking car companies here.
Well, not here, because this is a dual dealership. They sell Lambos and Ferraris.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
okay.
because there's a Lambo when he's staring in the window. That's a Lamborghini.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
And so they're, like, talking, and then Miller just walks up, starts fucking fondling the Ferrari, and he's just like, I want this car.
It's so good.
And he's like, "Hey, buddy, this car's taken. All right, but wait, let me finish, and I'll get to you." And he still keeps fondling that car.
Right. The driver and the salesman are walking away. He's opening the door. They hear him open the door, and the guy turns around. "Buddy, I'm buying that car. Go away." And he's like, "Don't worry about this, sir. We're gonna have Eddie take care of him." Was it Eddie?
Yeah, it's Eddie.
Nailed it.
So it's the guy who apparently this happens a lot on Ferrari. You need like some muscle to throw guys off the.
I wouldn't be surprised. L.A. What do we know about L.A.? Strip club, liquor store, church.
So Eddie, the muscle, walks up because he's like he got in the car and he's like room. He's just like and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "I need the keys," and he's just like, "Hey, asshole." Yeah, he's like, sure, we'll get the keys. Opens it up, gets them out, and just throws his ass off the lot. And the guy's like, "Hey, I want that car." He's like, "Look, asshole, beat it."
Starts coming after him because he's still mouthing off as much as fucking John Miller can at this point. So Eddie comes bearing down on him, gets up close, gets fucking shot because he stole that gun.
Right.
And so now we're going inside to the salesman's office where these two are doing bumps of coke. God damn it. You want to talk about movie with fucking details. Talking about the pain. Now we're doing coke out of a tiny little scale model Ferrari's trunk.
Right.
Oh!
And the guy's like, and they hear the shot. Like, what's that? Oh, it's a backfire.
They even had the square mirror for him to do the
car didn't even do backfires. Like, I'm sure the Model T era they did. I don't know about the fucking even the 80s backfire ring.
I don't know if they did. God damn it. I've been watching this, reading this book about the Detroit era, and Henry Ford did. He's one of the good ones with Hank Greenberg.
Oh, yeah, known anti-Semite.
Exactly.
Henry Ford. So we hear a knock at the door, and the dealer's like, if Joe Dante had been doing this movie, Dick Miller would have played the role of this dealership guy. But this guy's great too. And opens the door. Eddie's there, holding his gut where he got shot.
And it's out of Looney Tunes. This is a fucking cartoon bit because he opens the door. It's Eddie holding his wound, and he just collapses onto the floor. And then
I need the keys. And the guy's like, "What? I just paid for this. Give him the fucking keys, man." Hands it. So I told you, me and my sister saw this movie together. This is an in-joke we have. Like, anytime we need like borrow someone's keys, like he goes, "I need the keys. Bye." And then then goes really stiffly, like shoots them.
It's so good because he's so robotic. You're right. It's like he has to focus himself. He twists at the hips.
Right, because the body is breaking down, so it's like he can't really control it.
Again, this is a B movie, and it blows away some of our top tier budget movies today.
Yeah, I love how now we cut to where it's like later in the day. We're at the dealership where all the cops arrive. I love how every cop is always at the scene. Like, maybe figure it'd just be Beck investigating this.
Oh, yeah.
But Wills is there, Sanchez is there, Brem's doing paperwork and
well,
shit.
It's like when you're trying to become an actor in Hollywood. It's like you follow them around. All the little underling cops are following Beck around because they want to be under his umbrella. They want to get their name in. They want to get the promotion.
We get a little exposition because Lloyd goes, he took the Ferrari because he likes it. And then Sanchez rolls in with some exposition, and he's just like, "Hey, I didn't get a name on the victim, but the car is all in the name of Anchor's Imports." And he's like, we'll look into who this guy is later. So now Miller, he's driving in his Ferrari, and he's driving down Rodeo Drive, where all the rich people shop, and he sees a guy in a car. I don't know if this would ever work in anybody. But he stops, and there's a woman coming toward him. He waves, points a finger at her, and then does he do a come hither thing, or that's it?
I think he just does I thought it was a gun kind of thing, like, come here, babe.
And she hops in.
Hops right in.
And remember, this alien's an incel. He doesn't know how to deal with women. He has no game, so he's going to try this.
And I didn't realize he looked at the poster and saw the guy with the boombox to realize how much of a, if Andrew Tate was around today, this alien would be fucking like so much harder to stop because of where our influencers are nowadays and what they tell you. He would have just been like stopping and punching women in the face.
Right.
Like, what are you doing out here? Be at home cleaning.
So he's like, I'm going to try that move out. So he just drives up a little, stops. There's some women walking by. He does the robotic wave, points at her. And the chick's like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Get the fuck out of here.
And he's like, he goes for his gun. He's just like, I'm going to shoot this bitch.
This guy, 10 out of 10 acting here. The look on his face is both disgust, anger, and like confusion. And so he goes in to reach for, he goes in and gets his gun.
Have worked.
And he's like holding it like Schmeagol in the ring. He's like, no. And he puts it down. What? He put it down. An alien with the right to bear arms because now he's in America was like, you know what? I'm going to think about this twice. I'm going to look at my wallet. This body I stole's wallet. Or this guy.
The guy.
I stole's wallet.
Going through it, and he sees the card for Anchor Imports, this guy works at, and he also sees the card for a strip club called the Harem Room.
So I'm like, okay, he somehow figured out that I might be able to go get some chicks here or something? Or
no, he's just like, I'm just here to party, so like, wherever this takes me, I'm going to go.
You think that's what it was?
So, yeah,
okay.
so he goes, he's like, Anchor Imports, I'm going to check this place out.
He's alphabetical. He saw A and said, I got to go here first.
So now we go back to Beck and Lloyd, and they're like going over the case. Lloyd's fucking, he's apparently aliens love speeding because he goes right through a fucking red light.
He fucking like does a thing where it looks like he's going to stop, and then he jerks through the.
And Beck's like, hey, man, this seems real personal between you. What's going on with this DeVries Miller guy? And he's like, well, they killed my partner. And every cop knows that feeling.
I know.
Every cop has lost. Beck's lost these 12 partners.
And we've been told these guys have a parking ticket and like no background whatsoever. And he's like, he skips all that and just goes.
Well, he explains they're constantly changing their identities. That's why they don't have these backgrounds. They're living like a Seagal character.
Oh, yeah.
5 years ago, Miller didn't exist.
Okay. Yeah. But at this point, Beck's just like, shit. Now you've hit me in my gut, and that's where the police brain is.
Right. And this is where the ice starts to melt, and now he's starting to bond with fucking Lloyd.
So,
Miller arrives at Anchor Import.
We got a nice typo here. Anchor.
And he just goes inside, and it's an import, so there's this junk. It's just fucking shit, like statue, like
he does fondle the one statue.
Right,
it's very much out of Zardoz.
Yeah, he's new to the human body. He's probably a Baldarian. He probably can know how to fucking get off, no problem. Earthling, he's still working it out.
Which one's Baldarian? Is that Zardoz?
I don't know how to say that off. But
it sounds real.
So that's how good I am. He starts feeling Klingon. He probably fucked a Klingon. And so he's feeling up the statue's tits and shit. He likes tits. He's a tit man, this alien.
Well, it's the time to be a tit man. This is not, as we'll find out very soon, the time to be an ass man.
Right. Turns on, that's how you know he's an evil alien. He likes tits better than ass. So he turns on the radio, some country shit, offends the fuck out of him. It was shocking. Like, he loves his guns. I figured he would love country. But he just trashes that stereo.
It's a different time, man.
Starts griffing the room out, going through it.
Yeah,
opens the door. It's this full chuck block full of fucking weapons. Machine guns, bazookas. He's like, yeah, I like this shit.
Yeah. So then the rumble, the guttural rumble and everything, his chest starts cramping up on him. Right. And he fucking's like falling over, knocking shit all over the place. And he's laying there on the ground. And he rolls up his sleeve and a tentacle.
We also see like veins popping on his neck too.
Yeah.
Like we almost think like the alien's trying to come out.
Again, where they chose to use the special effects. They didn't constantly reuse them. They just used it to show you. And we talked about this before we recorded. Where was the director going with this whole idea of like the alien shooting out?
He just said it was in the script and it was just too cool a kind of a shot to not put in, because he didn't even know what was happening here, because we see a little tentacle whip out of the forearm.
Yeah.
And so because we're geniuses, our explanation is the body is rejecting the alien. The alien can't live in a totally dead body. So it's like pushing the alien out. And the alien wants to stay in because there's nowhere to go. It doesn't have another host. So that's what. So what does he do? He just grabs some packing tape and just tapes up his fucking wound where the tentacle came out.
So he's just trickling blood out of his hand and everything at this point. Oh, well, down his arm and all that. So we'll keep tabs on that.
We're back at the precinct. Beck he found out who the guy who bought the Ferrari was, and he's got a laundry list of fucking cocaine possession, fucking arms dealer, all this shit. So they're like, all right, well, this is our next fucking lead.
We got to print out it. They already have all of his addresses. They knew about the card and everything. They knew he owned the Anchor.
Yeah, that's what Sanchez came up
with. Anchor Imports. So they get the address from the police readout here.
Speaking of Sanchez, he just walks up in the background, the fucking flamethrower. It's like, man, we pulled this off. We were in Angeltown earlier today, and we fucking found this. They moved on, dude. They got the one Uzi, now they have the one flamethrower.
I hope that our constant trickling of Angeltown, a weird-ass movie that somehow is trickled into
somebody
so many
listened to it. I saw I was looking on our thing. It got one listen. It could have been a bot. I mean, we get hit with bots.
Yeah,
but
we do.
I hope it's the person listening to that.
That was a movie I randomly picked out on Amazon Prime and enjoyed the fuck out of it.
That's the beauty of this show, the beauty of Amazon Prime, I guess. Phone call, Sanchez picks up. It's fucking Beck's wife. She's just checking in. And Beck's like, hey, Lloyd, you doing anything?
I like that. He doesn't even say Lloyd. He just says, hey, you doing anything? And Sanchez goes, hey, man, I'm getting fucked tonight. No time. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Lloyd.
He's like, no, I'm not doing anything. So he invites him back to his place. Now you know they're bros. He's allowing this guy to come to his home.
Please do not lay on the laptop, Barney.
So they come to the home. Beck's like, hey, make yourself at home. No griffing, but
No
make
griffing.
yourself at home. I'm going to check in my wife.
I'm going to get a beer. Do you want a beer? I'll take whatever you're having.
Heineken? So we're like just thinking he's a beer snob. We're like going, because he's like, Bud Light, dude. This house is a Bud Light house. And so we're like,
completely derailed me.
Well, that's what I do. So he commences to start griffing. He starts looking around. He looks in the mirror, and we didn't mention that before the tentacle came out, Miller was looking in the mirror, like just observing he doesn't know what body he's in.
You're right. I didn't put that together.
And
here.
he does the same thing. So we're like, oh my God, is he a slug creature too? Now we're thinking that.
Yes, that's.
And then he looks down, and we see the picture of his angelic little daughter, Griff.
Yes. Oh no.
This isn't just any angelic little daughter. You recognize this little girl?
Oh my God.
Go back to our very first episode.
I'm understanding where you're going with this. I don't remember her from that.
She was the little girl in the Rat video for Lay It Down, where the kid licks his finger and flicks it at her.
Oh my God.
Yes. She also was in, Michael know this, she also was a little girl in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street. She was like in the dream sequence and like, 1, 2, Freddy coming for. I don't know how this girl got any roles because she's just a dead-eyed zombie girl. She's creepy.
She's so fucking good at that. It makes sense to put her in
Even
this
in the
shit.
Rat video, she's just staring off into space.
You know what? I had that air of like, I know this girl from somewhere, and I did not look her up. And thanks to IMDb, I look everybody up. But no, I did not look her up. That's incredible.
So Beck goes into the bedroom. They're tucking the daughter in for bed, and there's a nice little scene where they kiss each other. So like, this is a loving couple.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not the usual cop that we're dealing with, where it's like the love life's on the rocks, and the wife's moving out, and she's dating like some fucking cool hippie dude now, who hates the cops, ACAB all the way.
Right.
But no, they're a loving couple, and they're in there, and they're just talking. They're just kind of like, thinking they're having a private conversation with their daughter. And then they turn and realize that Lloyd is just standing in the doorway.
Staring at them.
And
staring at the daughter.
The way they have built up that he is not of Earth is so fucking good. The staring in the mirror. the staring at the daughter, the walking in the room. Hey, do you want to come say goodnight to our daughter? Yes. And him and the daughter just lock eyes for a minute. And I'm glad this is for a scene. Like I said, this movie's pace is fucking phenomenal. For it to finally slow down here for a minute of them just staring at each other.
Right. We cut to, they're at the dinner table. And we can point it out. Aliens, master marksmen, master sun drivers, tough with utensils.
Tough.
Also, we do have to point out, though, he's drunk as fuck on that Bud Light. I'm sorry, I was going to say Heineken, but that's his taste. Bud Light House.
That's right.
So he's wasted. He's like stumbling with it.
Right. And again, the fork.
And Beck's like, what the fuck is this guy? He's on his 5th fucking beer.
He must have come across like a mom feeding their child because he's doing airplane noise as he's scooping up his
and like you said, McLaughlin doing great. Super awkward. Everyone's like weird. Like she's like, what the? He's like mouthing to her husband, what the fuck?
If you're Twin Peaks season 3 fans, like this is
if you're Griff, basically.
Yeah, me. Yeah. I love Twin Peaks season 3. This is Dougie Jones's.
Do you think
infancy.
This is where he got the whole Dougie Jones persona from? That he channeled into this role?
I wouldn't be shocked because my God, like there's so many parallels between those two.
And she's trying to make some small talk. So she's just like, "Oh yeah, you're from Seattle, right?" And he's Seattle.
Where do you call home? Anywhere I lay my head.
No, he just points up.
I loved it. Oh, you're from an up north. Where at?
And he's like, I think he said Rashalak or something.
Yeah, he said something like that. Like,
and she's like, is that Indian? I don't know. Like, I've never heard of that. And he's like, your daughter, she's very special.
And again, he has been alien and kind of distant and kind of awkward. And finally, you see a face full of emotion, a smile, like a twinkle in Kyle MacLachlan's eye for this scene.
Yeah, Beck's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Special? Isn't everybody's kid? Isn't your kid special? Like, what do you know, the FBI agents that think their kids are special? And
right.
And then he reveals, he drops the bomb. He's like, I had a family one time, but that same man that killed my partner killed my wife and child. So now they're feeling like douchebags, like, oh, shit, I didn't know, man.
And we know that Lloyd cannot hold conversation all this, but now, thanks to that comment, this conversation is dead. So they're just...
Well, where do you go from that?
I know. Like... Hey, did you watch football? So the awkward eating and everything just ends.
He's eating peas and mashed potatoes and some kind of meat. I don't know. And I think there's a what do you call it? A croissant type... Pillsbury dough thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Come on,
it's like, but
croissants are tough, man.
That's very middle American blue collar meal.
I mean,
meat and potatoes.
God, these houses. I love looking into these houses because they just look like places I grew up in.
Because they're real houses. That's the thing. We don't need CGI for everything.
Instead of just like a set house or a fucking CGI. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Never mind.
Cut to, what's Miller been up to? He's finally at the harem room, and Brenda is rocking the stage. She's ruling the stage.
Whew. I was waiting for it. I was expecting the harem room 1987 to have Miss Sue Manchu, but I don't think they had the budget for her.
No, they couldn't afford her.
This is some podunk
low budget
fucking
production.
This is low budget. It
was either that or the slug creature. Like, come on, we gotta have the slug creature. He's one shot.
Yeah, of course.
So
makes more sense.
But hey, man, all eyes are on Brenda because she's rocking it. The actress apparently didn't have big enough tits that they wanted, so she's wearing fake tits in this scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that what you were trying to tell me before?
Yes, I was trying to tell you that.
Oh.
This chick was on a sci-fi show. I think Babylon 5, one of those shows. I recognize her from something. But she's doing a good job. She's looking hot. I will say, in their defense, it is the 80s. All the waitresses wearing thongs, the flattest asses I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Brenda's ass is pretty good. She had a nice ass. And then she rips off her skirt, and she has like a G-string with money on the crotch.
Yes. And what do we know about her alien? He loves money.
Right.
So he's been sitting at the bar with his back to the main stage. So he's not even looking at her.
Right. Dripping blood all over the bar. Bartender's like, buddy, are you all right? Fine. Give me the keys. They pan down. We see he's got a little
Tell
ruck.
me again how you would ask for keys for your
I
family.
go, I need the keys. And then I would turn like really stiffly. Bye.
Murray, that's beautiful. I get to hear about Murray's frustrations all too often, but to hear about this lovely moment he has with his family. His mom, who by the way went to Oakland University,
Right, graduate.
which
Who beat number 3 ranked Kentucky in March Madness.
That's right.
So we see they pan down. He's got a little sack full of fucking guns from that fucking Anchor Imports. So we're
Yes.
like, oh shit, what's going down? And you said you noticed that money.
Right.
And so he's just like, all right, that's going to be my next fucking conquest.
God, if they would have made this movie like 7 years later, I wonder if they would have bought the rights to like so many more rap songs.
Probably. The director said it was a Tina Turner song. I'm assuming Private Dancer.
Okay.
But this was just a generic, like, whatever the 80s version of Cardi B would be. like some hoe kind of song. All right, so and Brenda does a nice. We've had to point out the tell of who an alien who's possessed by an alien is they love licking their lips. And Brenda does a little lick. She's like a little back to foreshadow here.
Oh, okay.
Because she's not, but she's licking her lips. Maybe she's the perfect host.
Okay.
Because she loves licking her lips. All right, so we go outside of the harem room, and with the cops see the Ferrari, it's just fucking left on the fucking street. It's not even parked properly.
Yes.
We see Lenny and Squiggy from fucking Laverne and Shirley hanging outside. Oh, officer, I didn't do nothing, man. That's the guy with the Lamborghini jacket. And the other guy's wearing the baggiest. Like he came back from 1993 with the baggy ass suit.
Yeah.
And there's like these, we've seen these guys. There's these ne'er-do-well assholes.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out.
But we got to check back in on our heroes. And apparently that one Bud Light, it should have been a Heineken. He might have still been upright if it was a Heineken. Lloyd is knocked out. They had to put him up in their spare bedroom with the fucking cot. And so Beck comes in with some Alka-Seltzer and water for him.
Do they even make Alka-Seltzer anymore? That was huge in the 70s. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, odor
what a
relief
relief it is. Oh, I remember.
I was like, I didn't even know what it was, but I was so enamored by what it could do. That's how fucking lame we were as kids. Oh my God, it's fizzing. Mom, I need Alka-Seltzer. I didn't even know what it did. She's like, the fuck? No, I'm not getting Alka. She eventually broke down. I did it. I tasted it. This tastes like shit. Like, ugh.
And now you love your fizzy water. Well, I mean, kids are fucking borderline mentally challenged because when I was a kid, I swear I saw this oven top when you had a pan on it bubble, kind of like the fucking tapes and Videodrome. So I turned it on, waited a minute, and put my hand on it and burned the fuck out of my hand. We were on our Florida vacation, and I burnt the fuck out of my hand. I had to spend the night with my hand in bucket water, or ice water. I was 9 or something like that.
You were 9 and you did that?
I was like 9 and I did that.
God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
you're gonna say like 3.
And so, of course, the whole put your hand in water when you're sleeping, your friend will piss himself.
Yeah.
Very true. Because I pissed so much that night.
The Hackamans and their fucking peeing and shitting issues. Fuck. So you get a nice little like funny moment where he goes to eat the Alka-Seltzer and like no, you put it in the water. What the fuck?
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
And
What
then
a relief.
And he just takes it. So we're setting up another joke later.
I know. And again, the way they work in the jokes.
So Miller goes backstage where Brenda's at, and she's like, "Look, buddy, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, I thought they made googly eyes at each other or something.
That's what he thought. Because remember, he's an incel. He's like, she's in love with me because she looked at me.
Right, and the camera does a good job of showing his, first-person view of that. Because I was even like, oh, man, get in there. This girl thinks he got something. So, yeah.
And she's like, get the fuck out. Like, "Arr." And she's like, get the fuck out. And he lunges for her and just grabs her. And we know what he's going to do. He's going to transfer the fucking alien.
That's right.
So we cut back to outside. Cops are like waiting. She walks in. She's not a suspect. She's not Miller. So she just walks out. And maybe this was
You're right. She did have a nicer butt.
Yeah, this was a premonition of things to come.
Premonition.
because she had a butt cleavage dress going on.
Yeah.
It was like the butt was cut out. She had a little like thong
Yeah.
type thing going on.
I heard somebody talking on NPR recently about the Freaknik party and how it started in Atlanta in the 80s or whatever. And this one was just like the girls in their booty shorts. And I was just like, man, see, women they like their ass cleavage too.
Yeah, she had
Everybody-
a booty dress.
Yeah.
And she's looking good. And she walks to get in the Ferrari again. Ma'am, you can't use that Ferrari. That's like criminal evidence.
Yeah.
And the alien's like, fuck, he has no out. And then fucking Squiggy comes up.
By the way, I don't know if we mentioned this. John Miller did come into the bar with a rifle.
Yeah, we said that.
Okay.
She's carrying. Yeah.
So she's carrying
the bag full of weapons.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Squiggy comes up. Hey, Ferrari. Who needs a Ferrari when you could have a Lamborghini? He's wearing the...
Or at least a Lamborghini jacket, because he did not have a Lamborghini.
No, he did not, but
Well,
come on. He put...
Got a dream.
He somehow figured out a way to put his car within a 5-minute walk, but also within 3 different dark alleys with trash cans everywhere.
And the alien licks his lips. And so now we know for sure that she's possessed by this alien.
right.
And they walk off because the alien's like, hey, I can't take this car.
The subtleties of this movie. Oh.
So now we cut to, they're in the car. It's just, I don't know, it's like a fucking LeBaron or some shit. It was same, that puke green color.
Yep.
And they're just rocking. If they're rocking, don't come and knock it. And I don't know how this happened because he's on top.
Yeah, that's what you're
Somehow
saying.
he dies. Because there's that, I don't know how it works ever, but I've seen, for some reason, there's been other movies where woman fucks a guy to death and she's almost always on top.
Yeah.
They flip the script and she's loving it. She's laughing and she's like, stop. So we know, ladies, we know you got teeth down there. And so this alien, new to the body, never been in a Earth woman.
I mean, that's how Scarface got the
Right.
scar.
Exactly. And so she's just chomping up on his dick and then spits it out with him and then gets in the car, looks in the rear view, fills up those titties, and takes on off.
All right. So Beck and crew are arriving at the harem room. They're already in the back. They already have found John Miller's dead body. Blown up. It's already fucking
Lloyd
blown
already
out.
has an 8x10 of Brenda. He knows, like, this is
Well,
the next suspect.
This is a woman trying to get into Hollywood. Of course, there's a fucking, Hollywood shot of her.
Right. A cop comes up to Lloyd, sees he's looking a little green around the gills.
Beck told me to get you some aspirin. So here you go. Hands him a glass of water, a couple aspirin. Murray, drum roll. Go ahead.
Pops that fucking aspirin in the water, and the cop's like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? And then he's like, we need to find Brenda Lee Van Buren. She's our next lead.
She's our next lead. But
And then the guy's like, Beck, you're not going to fucking believe this. There's another fucking dead body out there. Go check it out. It's
is
in the
this
parking
really how
lot.
they spell Squiggy?
Yeah. Well, I think that I'm missing a U there.
Oh, okay.
But are you really up on for a guy who can't spell for shit? You're up on my shit.
No.
All fucking day.
No, that was a
Yeah.
honest question. I was
Yeah.
really curious because I know the name Squiggy, but I was
Yeah.
just like,
Forgot
is that
the
really
Q.
how they spell it? Okay, I
The U, I forgot, sir.
I wasn't trying to call you out.
We did it.
The one time was funny, but this
But
time
that was just fat finger thing for the other one.
Yeah.
So we see the guy laying there, his dick's missing, and Beck's just like, what the fuck? I have 5 dead bodies, not including Miller. And all this shit's happening. There's something going on, Lloyd. What the fuck are you keeping
This
from
is
me?
all really fucking bizarre. And Lloyd, very calm, and just goes, yes, this is very bizarre. All right, I just wanted to know if you thought the same thing. 'Cause he's a weird guy. He's a weird guy.
So Brenda's driving. Cops pull her over. And she gets out. You think he's gonna use this feminine wiles on these cops because she gets out feeling up her body. The cop's like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be a good night."
It looked like a ZZ Top fucking music video. She pops the legs out. Meow, 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 meow. Is that the legs right?
Not at all. Down, 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 down. So, and then she pulls out this fucking, it looked like a fucking Terminator gun from the
did.
future.
Yeah.
It's like a pump shotgun. starts unloading on the cop car, blowing it away. Cops are hiding.
They actually both survive this.
Yeah, she gets in the car and takes off.
So now we're joining Beck and Lloyd. They're driving around in this Porsche. They're just leaving that the harem room, and it happened on the two cops who got their car shot up. Right. And they're like, "Fuck, we're close. Yeah. We gotta go." She's obviously going this way, so they just start driving down the road, and they catch up to her.
Right, and Beck starts shooting and missing everything, and like Lloyd's like, "Hey, you try shooting the tire? What do you think I'm fucking trying to do?" And he's like, "You do it." He's like, "All right."
Take the
As
wheel.
they're driving. Beck's like, "What the fuck?" Because his car starts swerving because he just starts hanging out the fucking window.
Take the wheel. I said take the wheel. Squares it up. He misses once. He hits just like the back.
Yeah, he shoots
trunk.
open the trunk.
Yeah. And then, second shot.
Boom. Goes the dynamite. And the car crashes in. We see him everywhere. The old Mannequin warehouse.
Yes. I thought this was a fashion store, but no, it is literally just a mannequin store. They're just trying to sell the mannequins that you could potentially put clothes on.
Somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
So they crash in there. They get out of the car. They see the cars crash. They're thinking Brenda's still in there. So Beck's like, I got your back. I don't really want you to have my back.
It would be much safer if you go take cover somewhere else.
And then he gets all hurt. He's like, fine, I won't book your back.
Oh, excuse me. In fact, I actually really need you to get my back.
I need your help. He's like, I need your help back. I can't do it without you. Okay. So now they do the thing where they're just like, one guy goes through the door and the guy goes through.
It felt like we were in an 80s action movie. It felt like it was a near abandoned factory with just mannequins everywhere. There's like freight elevators and everything. She's on a balcony because, of course, there's a balcony back here.
Right.
So she's got that super shotgun. And she's just unloading on them. She's getting hit in the arm, shoulder. I don't think she got anything like to the torso or anything, but she's getting riddled with bullets. And
I think she got shot in the head because she had blood.
She
might have been from the car crash. I don't know.
I think that was from the car crash.
And so she just drops the gun, runs out of bullets, drops the gun, just walks out the door. If you're stuck, go up.
You know what? For an alien, this makes perfect sense. You don't know any better. So, of course, she sees staircase. She doesn't go down. She goes up.
So Lloyd's like, we got to go get her. He's like, how about we just wait till she fucking dies?
Yeah, because they're looking at the blood trail.
And that's important, people. He's got to get it now. Because normally you'd be like, yeah, why doesn't he just wait till the body dies? Because he has to get it before the fucking alien transfers to another body.
That's right. We're about to learn the very valuable lesson in a minute.
So we're on the roof. There's a lot of tension. We don't know where Brenda's at. Then Brenda shoots Beck in the shoulder. He goes falling off the side of the building, hanging there. I got a very Blade Runner vibes off.
Very Blade Runner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Android, alien. Right. Why not?
Yeah, and she's hanging over, she's probably gonna uncurl each finger one at a time. Before she can do that, Lloyd opens up on her. So she's got to deal with Lloyd.
Bails out.
So she's trying to get away. It's like the thing. I forgot to point out the noise. Remember when the tentacle came out the arm?
Yeah.
The noise they use is from the thing.
I thought it was. There was a couple moments that reminded me of it, especially the fucking defibrillator to the chest. And
there's definitely callbacks to the thing in this movie. And so she's trapped and then he pulls out this weird fucking gun thing.
Yes.
And points it at her. So we don't know what this is.
Again, I want to say it. I think Men in Black took inspiration from this because this reminded me a lot of the gun they called the Noisy Cricket.
Yeah.
And it ends up being some crazy super strong gun. But
there was this made out of plastic with silver paint on it. They said it was a pain in the ass because it would leave fingerprints all the time.
Oh yeah.
It was just paint.
Yeah.
But he's just standing there holding it, and then Brenda's like, "I'm not coming out. You're not going to get me." Because apparently, that's how it's got to come out to get this fucking creature. So instead of because you can tell the way she's playing it is, and this is why we were alluding to earlier. I think that if the body's dying, it just forces the alien out.
Yeah.
And so the alien's struggling to stay in the body. And the alien's like, fuck it, and just leaps off the fucking building, runs through a neon sign, and then splat.
So now everybody's got to run down to the ground. We know our police have already got this building surrounded, so they should be able to get to this body quickly. It just so happens, I think it was Masterson.
Masterson shows up. He's
out. It seemed like he was in street clothes and walking his dog.
Yeah, that's what happened. He just had to show up. I don't know why he had to show up.
Right.
But so, yeah, he opens the door. His dog just runs out and runs toward the body of Brenda.
Okay.
And then we see Brenda's eyes open up, and she grabs the dog. So we know, of course, the thing's going to go into the dog.
Now we're talking the thing again.
Even though this thing is like the same size as the dog, I don't know how it fits into. There's illusions. The director made illusions that the thing could shrink down to get into bodies. But obviously, we're dealing with practical effects. We can't do that kind of shit, But we're going with it.
Again, this movie sets its rules. It takes us for the ride, and we enjoy the fucking ride.
So now Lloyd, you see him. He finally got down. He's running after that fucking body of Brenda. We see, I don't know who was over it. Hey, I think it was Willis. Willis was like looking at the body.
Yeah.
He's like, get the fuck away from that body. And they're like, what the fuck? This chick's dead, dude. And then apparently, for some reason, Lloyd can tell.
It was something about his gun. There was something that I feel like clued the audience in, and he pointed the gun at it, and it wasn't reacting how he expected it to.
But he can tell it's not in Willis.
Yeah,
he has some kind of ability.
Yeah,
but it's funny because the evil alien, I don't think, has that ability with him.
Yeah, no, they say later on the alien knows about him.
Okay,
so there is some. I think they do establish that they both can track each other.
So this was the best chance he's had since he's been on Earth. So he's crushed. He's like, fuck, because he has no leads now. It could be anybody. It could be a homeless guy or some shit.
Right. And we get the fucking Simpsons shot. Simpsons like to end episodes with the dog just snarling and looking into the camera. And that's what we get here. He's standing over that body. It could be anybody now.
And the dog licked his lips.
You're right.
So now we know. So he's just like staring at it, and he's like, Beck's like, I just saw, because the coroner's like, it's Quincy. He's like, I just got back from this punk rock show. It's horrible. But what are you doing to me, dude? This body's got 15 bullet holes in it.
Yeah.
You're killing me. There's like this running joke, because he always like shows up in like the scene and is like, what the fuck, guys?
Right. And Beck keeps asking, so this is case closed, right? And then Lloyd keeps telling him, nope, actually, it's moved on. It keeps moving on. It's changed its identity already. And so
he doesn't say that, because that would allude that he's talking about aliens.
Yeah.
He's not talking about aliens yet. He's like, no, it's not over.
Yeah, and so Beck is just like, I'm fucking done. Answers now.
Answers won't help you. And he's like, I'm fucking sick of your shit. You know what? I don't know how he could do this. I think FBI takes jurisdiction over a cop. But he's like, Willis, arrest this guy.
Yeah.
And especially because, did you notice, Willis did not read him his rights.
He didn't.
They would have thrown this case out.
Well, yeah. They were just trying to hold him for a day.
Right.
All right.
Well, he's like, I'm not going to let you loose until you tell me the truth. That's his thing.
So they're playing it cool with him and everything. We go back to headquarters. They bring Lloyd in, and we're at the bullpen desk of Beck's, and they're just there alone. He's like, you got.
Before that,
okay.
Willis comes in. He's like, I don't know what he's got the alien guns. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. We're gonna send it over to the evidence room. The labs are gonna check this out. And then Brem enters. He's like, hey, I got that background on that Lloyd Gallagher guy you wanted. And so this is what we learn is that Lloyd Gallagher, this guy is not Lloyd Gallagher. He is the friend of Lloyd Gallagher, something Stone. I don't remember his first name. It's like Tom Stone, we'll just say.
Sure.
And he's like, they were lost. They got caught in a forest fire, and Stone's body was never found.
Yeah. And
he's like, huh, okay. And then we get a nice shot. Like, they didn't even, like, I'm surprised, because in a movie now they would zoom in on the headshot, the mug shot of Kyle MacLachlan's character. Right. He's got the mullet going on. Yes. You notice that?
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, okay. He's like, all right, get Lloyd for me, because he's got all the evidence he needs now.
That's right.
And this is where they bring Lloyd in.
All right, so they're sitting face to face. I'm going to need you to start fucking talking. You're going to have to start telling me the truth, because I know about you. You're not fucking Lloyd Gallagher. You're Tom Stone. You're straight from Harry Potter, motherfucker. What's going on here?
Why are normal people going crazy? What the fuck is going on? And he's like, Lloyd's like, because it's the same guy. I've been chasing this guy all across the galaxy, and now it's here. He's like, what the fuck? Are we talking about Spaceman? What the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, look, that last time was the only time I can get him. I can only get him when he's going between bodies.
And that weapon that you took from me, it's the only thing that can eradicate it. Nothing. Our guns, your guns here, will not kill it.
And Beck's like, huh. You act like, because we've seen enough movies, like, he's going to believe him. This is his bro.
Well,
he's gonna
they've
be
been
like,
having the joke, too, where he's like, because Beck's, Lloyd keeps telling him, did your police work actually train you for this kind of thing? And so Lloyd hits Beck with it again. He says, now, I'm asking sincerely, did your police training actually teach you how to handle that? Because he just gave him a lot of fucking shit right there. And he's like, yeah, it really did. And then we just see the fucking bars close on his face, and Lloyd's been, held in a cell.
Yeah, we'll try again later. Cut to Masterson's place. He's up. He had his sweats on. He his New Year's resolution. He's still keeping it. He's doing his 2,000 steps a day.
Dude, bravo to the 2,000. That is very low.
Well, you see that guy? He's pretty
Okay.
fat. Yeah. That's a lot for him. He's Bernhard Conan level. Fucking, yeah.
In the 80s, we thought it was 1,000 was good. 2,000 was great.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Just for inflation, it would be 20,000.
Yeah, 10,000 today, I think, is what people aim for in a day, like a normal day.
So he's gonna have a cheat meal, a nice little apple.
An apple.
While he's doing that, we see the alien staring into the mirror. He's like, "I'm in a fucking dog now. How humiliating!"
Right.
So he's like, "I got to get the fuck out of this dog.
I gotta get a body. I gotta get some tits again."
So we see Masterson. He's got an apple. He's like, "I can take a Twinkie too." And then he's
Also,
going for that.
Who keeps their apples in the? Okay, I kind of do.
I
Sometimes.
keep mine in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Gotta keep them crisp.
You do gotta keep them crisp.
So the dog fucking leaps through a door, bumps into him. He hits his head on the freezer, knocks himself out.
Yeah.
Licks his lips.
Jumps in the body.
Eats the apple first, and then goes into the fucking Masterson.
If only we got a fucking nice cut of the Apple soundtrack in there.
Next morning, Masterson shows up, and everyone's like, "What the fuck? When he gets a day off, he never shows up.
Right.
What the fuck's going on with Masterson?"
Everybody in the office is the talk of the fucking office.
Cut to that the evidence room, the lab. We see the lab tech. He's checking out that newfangled weapon.
Flamethrower, assault rifles,
Samurai swords.
fedora, boot with blades, frisbee with blades, and then he sets down one rifle and he's like, "Oh, what's this little guy?" And it's the little alien gun.
It starts heating up, like, and then a little beam comes out and then blows the fucking wall away.
That's right. Everybody's freaking out because they're in the middle of the fucking police headquarters, and Masterson realizes
he knows that. What caused
he knows
that.
exactly what's happening here.
Because we got to point out, Masterson's coming back to kill Lloyd because Lloyd's locked up, so he's easy pickings.
Exactly.
So he goes into the evidence. He knows where it would be. He goes in the evidence room.
Where it be?
I said where it would be. We had a question. They can speak English. They know whatever language they're in. Do you think they retain the memories of the people they're in?
That's a good question. I don't know. I wonder if the second ever tries to answer any of these questions.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Avoid it at all costs. So he picks up the alien weapon and it's like, fuck, I'll take some shit I'll griff some shit while I'm here. Grabs a grenade, grabs a fucking bazooka, and grabs a fucking assault rifle.
I wish he would have grabbed the frisbee blades. I mean, come on.
That's a little too beyond his. I mean, he was in a human for a little bit longer. He could get the dexterity.
Yeah, I was gonna say it takes a little bit more agility.
Yeah,
finesse.
when you're doing robotic twist, you need to put some fucking your hips into it and all this shit.
It takes a lot more.
There's
motion.
a reason why Shades is a master frisbee guy.
Your legs are very important. These people are very bi-bodied. Like they take one side or the other, the top half, bottom half.
So Masterson's walking out. Everyone's confused because they're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Fucking Beck is there. He's got his arm in a sling now because he got shot in the shoulder.
Right.
And he's like, "Masterson, what are you doing here?" And Masterson puts a gun. "Show me where Lloyd is." He's like, "What? He's like, "I shot you once already. I can't wait to do it again." So now he's like, the gears starting to click in Beck's head.
So he's walking him down, but of course, I think Beck puts up a fight.
No, he's going along with it, but he has a gun pointed to him in the
Yes.
middle of a police station.
Yes.
So, what heroic figure, I'll let you tell this one.
Everybody, I want you to know one of Golan-Globus' favorites. I think he was in Hero in the Terror too. I think he had a cameo. I think he fought on the docks.
He got his ass beat on the docks.
So we've got 2 random characters from Hero in the Terror now. Although one of them wasn't in the movie. It was in the bit we did with the movie.
Yes.
Branscombe motherfucking Richmond. And if you're like us, you cannot miss this face.
Well, it was hard because no Native American jewelry.
Yeah.
No mullet. It was a baby mullet, I think. He had a Seinfeld mullet, probably.
Yeah, it was a Seinfeld cut, yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, I had to fucking, I was like, enhance. Because I'm watching this, of course, on the Laserdisc. And I'm like, oh my God, baby Branscombe.
I don't know if they released an LP of this on vinyl or a Laserdisc of this, but
they did.
I'll be keeping my eyes out for that.
Of course they did.
I want that's going to be up on my wall if I find that.
Yeah, Branscombe, he just gets shot. I don't think he even has a line. I think he's, hey, Chief, or something like that.
But the way he got shot, the way he threw himself back through a file cabinet.
Yeah, we saw that guy's going to be a star.
So good. It's our star. It's a Golan-Globus star. We got to have a better word for that.
So Masterson, they think Masterson's just going crazy, but so they're cops though, so they start shooting at fucking Masterson.
Oh yeah, they're excited. Finally,
Right.
our time to shine. They start shooting at him. Masterson, like a Terminator, just taking all the bullets.
Alien gun is in his waistband. Beck notices that, so he goes yoink and takes it.
Because Masterson actually goes down for a second. They think they got him, and so everybody's rushing over to him. Beck's like, "Get the fuck away from him!" Because he just pops up and starts firing at people and runs off. But Beck is able to get the alien gun and run off himself.
He runs off to Lloyd. He's like, Lloyd was telling the truth, so he's got to free him.
So he's down there. Of course, Beck has to deal with the fucking guards who are like, I can't let you in with a fucking clear firearm. You got to turn that. He's like, shut the fuck up. I'm coming through.
Pulls a gun on the guy.
Yeah.
Guy's like, all right. Lets him out. It's like, this ain't worth dying over.
Oh, no.
Runs up to Lloyd, and he's like, look, I got to ask you. That's not Masterson, right? And he's like, no, Masterson's dead. And he's like, okay, I believe you now. And he, opens the fucking thing, hands them the fucking alien weapon.
They start walking down the hallway when they see the people who checked him in, who he actually had to show him his gun and threatened to kill him, gets blown away.
Yeah, Masterson shows up, and he just throws a grenade at the fucking gate. He doesn't care if they buzz it in.
So good.
Knocks it off.
No tactics, just fucking anarchy. It's right back to the first scene. I'm walking through every obstacle in my way.
Masterson opens fires on him. Lloyd gets shot in the calf.
Yeah.
They hide in a fucking cell.
They have to get back into a cell, and we have rowdy prisoners right now. People being held in the overnight cells and everything.
Well, first now Beck totally believes because he's like, how did you find me? He left an angry partner in Altair. How do you like being a human? It's all right. And then Beck's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Lloyd has a nice smile that he flashes at Beck here when he says,
and then another familiar face, Mr. Danny Trejo, playing. This is the role he only plays because he's actually raping Duke from Ginja Day simultaneously. And it's like, I did not get this line. Hey, hippie! This guy's nothing hippie about this guy. Maybe he's talking about his hips because he was kind of hippie. But he's like, who the fuck are you? And then fucking Masterson just fucking shoots him. He does ejaculate before he gets killed, so it was okay.
Well, he's sick of fucking Duke, because
Yeah.
Duke's all fucking skin and bones. So he's like, look at this guy.
Oh,
he's
he's
literally
boned. He's getting
saying,
boned already.
I'm an ass man, and you got fucking ass on you, sir.
So they're hiding, our heroes, and then fucking Masterson just pops up with a bazooka on his shoulder. Bye! Die! Shoots Masterson in the fucking forehead.
I loved it when he just, again, this movie's moving so quickly. You get the tension, but you get it cut underneath you so hard by him just turning the corner going, bye! It's so alien. It's so good. It belongs in this movie.
So he gets shot in the head. He stumbles, fires off a rocket into the wall.
Yeah.
They run out. He's gone. Somehow those 2,000 steps worked because he got the fuck out of there really quick.
Yeah, he was very agile.
And Beck's like, why the fuck didn't you? He was there. Why didn't you shoot him with your fucking alien weapon?
During this whole standoff, it lasts a little while, and Lloyd has got his gun, the alien gun, ready, and he's like, "Come on, use the gun, use the gun, use the gun, use the gun."
Not yet.
And
Not yet.
Beck is popping, Masterson with bullets and everything. He's like, "Use the fucking gun." And so finally, this is where we get the show and tell. Here, he goes. And it's Star Trek, original Star Trek level.
Exactly. It's a teleportation thing.
Because a warm piss glow forms over Beck, and he's just like, shit, what is this? Gross. Is this your piss?
Human body's wrong composition. It doesn't work. That's why the creature has to be out of the body, because the human body protects it.
Right.
It makes no sense at all, but we're going with it,
Does it? You don't like that?
No, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
It could be, if it could only work on the alien body, I'd let it pass, but it blew that hole in the wall.
Right.
So it's like weird. Just human flesh would just
if
be
it burnt his clothes here or something, okay, yeah, whatever. You got this tech that doesn't fuck up skin, but it can fuck up everything
I'm along for the
else.
ride. I'm just pointing out. This is what we do. This is our job.
This is what I enjoy about sci-fi, though. It's like you set your rules, and then you just follow them. I don't care what the fucking rules are. I think his clothes should have burned now that we're talking about it, because it blew a hole in the wall and all that, So I would have been fine if it burned a hole through his clothes and all that.
Maybe the slug's body is the same composition as concrete cinder blocks.
Maybe.
I don't know.
All
I know is they chase there's a blood trail, so they chase after it, and they find the room, and we see Brem standing over Masterson. Like, get the fuck away! And like fucking Lloyd's like, it's not him. He's fine. Yeah. Like, who the fuck was here? Well, Willis just left.
Yeah, he went to find a medic. And then we have we know about the partner clause in cops. Right. Partners are basically your blood brothers. Blood brothers. Yeah.
Not Willis.
And they stare, they look hard into each other's eyes.
We forgot to point out, when Masterson first showed up, he bumped into Clue with the security team of Senator Holt.
Yes.
So and he's he's just like, hey, these are the people for Holt, the guy that people were clapping for.
Yeah.
So he's like, he wants to get in Holt big time.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I mentioned it for a reason when we were doing the diner scene.
Right. Well, that's important, because now we know where Willis is going, and they do too.
And we've been told what hotel his next presser is going to be held at. So all the details are out there. We just have done a half-ass job of.
So we cut to the hotel. Willis, he shows his badge. They let him through.
Of course,
you can trust a cop.
He's starting to walk through when one cop does stop him. He's like, sorry, sir, Mr. Willis, we got to stop you here. And that's when Willis
we need your gun. He's like, we need your gun.
Yeah. Well,
sure.
He says, I got to take you in.
Yeah. Well, he said, but he says, give me your gun. And he's like, sure, no problem. And he pulls it out between his forefinger and his thumb. And the guy just walks up on him. He just shoots the guy square in the chest.
Right. He just grabs him by the back of his head and shoots him in the chest. And then he's just, again, plowing straight through.
Right.
Just walking through everybody.
So the security team is just rushing, trying to get out.
This is where we see the security team, the Secret Service, all have Uzis. They all are holding it sideways. They're all somehow shooting it one bullet at a time. It's fascinating.
And he's just eating the bullets up, and they go through a kitchen, and they take him to like a laundry room.
Yes. The senator, the actual senator.
Yeah. And Willis is following them slowly. Our boys finally show up. They're let in, because, come on, these are heroes. And they catch up with Willis in the kitchen.
Right. They've been shooting at him. They've been exchanging bullets. Willis, at this point, is just bleeding all over the place. And Beck sees his moment. He's like, okay, here's my shot. He runs out, Lionheart! And he takes one shot. He's going for the second shot. I have no more bullets. And he puts his hands up.
This is what Michael Nuri added to it. He's like, I think my character would try to reach out to Willis one last time. Maybe there's some Willis in him.
I honestly feel like that is okay.
So did the director. He's like, I used it because it made sense.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, man. And then fucking boom, boom, just shoots him a couple times in the gut.
In the gut, yeah.
So he collapses.
We get the moment here. What's Lloyd going to do? Is he going to go after his new Earthling friend, or is he going to go after his,
He's got to because the body's riddled with bullets. He's like, this is my chance. I have to stop this.
Right.
So, I'm not giving him shit for leaving fucking Beck. I think Beck even tells him to fucking go on.
Right.
So we
They're
cut.
both cops in some weird way.
There's one last. I think he is a space cop.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean.
So there's one security guard left. He's like, there's like a broom closet in the back of the fucking hotel. Get in there. The senator's like, this would never happen now. He actually puts his assistant in there, and he's like, I'm gonna stay out here.
Yeah.
And so the last security guy gets killed, and we just see from the point of view of the assistant, because it's like the door has little slats. You can see a little bit.
There was a locker in there or something. She's hiding in a locker, looking out the door, and she's seeing as it's just
we get a very Neil Breen shot. It's just feet.
You're right.
You see Willis's feet walk up to him, and of course we know what's happening. She doesn't, obviously.
Yeah.
So all right, he makes the transfer.
All right.
So Lloyd finally gets through, and he sees the dead body of Willis.
Right.
And they're ushering fucking Holt out.
Right. It's a whole entourage again. They got Secret Service surrounding him. They're walking out. Lloyd, after they've all passed by him, Lloyd sees Willis, turns and looks back. Just so happens the senator looks back at him.
Does that little lick thing.
And then notices the look on the assistant's face or whatever she was, and she's just got hand to mouth.
Well, she has no idea what happened.
Yeah. She's mortified.
She maybe somebody was eating a peach. She doesn't know what's going on with those noises. But
she witnessed this.
It was very juicy.
She witnessed something.
She witnessed some feet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she knows something's weird happened.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and then he just goes and then walks
off. In the 80s,
off.
you might think that this was what gay sex was.
So they're carting off back. He's like, "Did we get it?" And Lloyd's like, "Yeah, we did it, bro. We got him. Don't worry about it." And he's like, "Yeah, thanks." So all right, now the senator's still going to do his press conference to announce finally that he's going to be running for president.
That's right.
Spokeswoman, they're like, "Sir, are you not running for president? We're tired of the cock tease." And she's like, "Well, he hasn't." And then he just gets up.
Yes. What was that? I said yes.
Tap, tap, tap.
Hold on. Could you please talk into the mic?
Is this mic on? I want to be president. Everyone's like, "My God, my God." They're loving it. And then we see Lloyd with a little sack with him.
Yeah, he's trying to get through security, and they're like, "Hi, sir, how are you? What are you with?" FBI. That's good credentials you got there, but we're gonna have to look at your bag. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and open this up. Fucking shoulder blocks the guy into the fucking abdominal.
Just starts running, and they're fucking unloading on Lloyd.
Right, and we're going into slow motion now as bullets are just fucking riddling his body.
He's pulling out something out of that fucking little sack of his.
We see up on the stage that the senator...
He just fucking face bombs a fucking security guy and grabs a gun.
His pistol, starts shooting at fucking Lloyd as well, and then Lloyd finally gets it out of the bag.
He slides on his knees towards the stage with a fucking flamethrower in his hands.
And as he pulls out the flamethrower, it's so cool to everybody that everybody just freeze frames.
Right.
And he torches the fuck. I mean... the senator realized what was happening, and he was like, "I gotta run," but no, it was too late.
Unloads on the body's torched. People are like, "What the fuck?" The body collapses, and then we see the creature has to come out.
Right.
And everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Holy shit!
He's surrounded by guys with guns pointed at him. They're like, "What the fuck are we watching?" Gives Lloyd time to pull out his gun finally, his alien gun.
Right.
Shoots it, it explodes.
Right.
And then he's collapsed. And then you can just see. I like this because it's like relief finally. It's not like fuck yeah. It's just like finally, like I can rest. You know.
I did all I could. I may have died in the process, but hey, I finished what I wanted to. What I started. All that bullshit. We fade to black. We come back to. We're in the hospital. We're with Beck's wife, Barbara.
Right, and she's talking to the doctor, and it sounds like it's not going to be good. He's not going to make it.
Beck, that is.
Yeah. Lloyd is watching from a room. Apparently, they just shot him in the arms and the legs, so he's not going to die.
Yeah.
And he's like watching, and then she's like distraught, so they just walk away. He walks into the room where Beck is, and Beck flatlines right in front of him.
Right.
And he's just like, he decides, like, you know what? I'm not going to deprive these people of their loved one because he knows the pain of losing his family.
Yes.
So, this is, I understand this is a heroic character, so you don't want to see a gross fucking slug creature come out and go into the body. I don't know how you would do this, so I'm not going to shit on the filmmakers but it's bizarre. Just basically the same ray, the piss yellow ray that came from the gun, comes out of Lloyd's mouth. So he's like a light creature.
Yeah.
So he must have to live in another creature to do anything, apparently.
Right.
So, but like I said, we're going with it. I can't come up with a better fucking thing, so I'm going with it.
Yeah. I just said maybe you do like some kind of thing where you take both of his hands or wrists and do an aura or whatever, a glow. But yeah, they went with the piss ray out the mouth.
Right.
And whatever.
The golden shower's back. Beck comes back.
Again, it's such a fucking good movie, a good ride that you're just like, yeah, this wasn't great. Yeah. We've talked constantly, well, not constantly, but, when we've hit our hiccups, we've said, it's a hiccup, but whatever. Right. Who cares? It's a fucking good movie.
So Lloyd's body collapses because now he's in back. The family come in because the thing flatlined, so they came in and he's fine. And then she's like, the wife's like, oh my God, you're fine. And
Beck's fine.
And then Julia, I forget her name, the little girl, she's standing at the end of the bed and she stares at fucking Beck and she knows because pure innocent creatures can see ghosts and aliens.
Yes.
We've learned that from movies. So then they have that same stare they had earlier at the house.
And Beck does something this time. Lloyd Beck reaches out and she takes the hand. Beautiful moment. Let's not do a sequel.
Right, but they did, and it was awful. All right, that was a fucking classic, people. If you hadn't seen this movie and you saw it because of our show, you're welcome because it's a fucking classic.
Yeah, and if you didn't see it and
this is the epitome of a cult classic.
This is what the epitome of a cult classic should be.
Because most people don't talk about this movie, but they should. I mean, I think our people do. But I think most people, your average person has no idea this movie exists, and they should know about this movie.
I feel like it's hard to talk about these kind of movies nowadays because they don't even pop up on the main streaming apps anymore.
They don't. I've never seen The Hidden playing ever on cable.
And that's another thing. It's like
even the sequel I just saw once. I've never seen it ever again.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And I feel like that's why we're at the end of the streaming era, because we're already at the bad end of it. We're going downhill.
Yeah.
Nobody says Netflix is worth the money. Hulu's worth the money. HBO Max is... Nobody is saying that. Everybody's like, fuck, there's got to be a better way. I feel like we're going...
Well, there's a better way. Mike's Plex.
Yeah, well, Mike's Plex is the way, Mike.
Right.
How you doing?
Mike, open up to everybody.
Oh, man. We're going to have to get him a bigger server and probably start paying his internet bill at that point because he would be doing a lot of streaming there. I wish we could open that up to more people because holy shit, that is a great collection. I want to start watching.
Mike was, I'm going to point out earlier, Mike was disturbed by my DVD collection because it's just stacked. I have
Did
no.
you post that?
No, I did not. But I have no room, so it's literally just stacked. Literally, I have a stack from the floor to the ceiling.
Yes, he does.
Literally of DVDs.
Yes, he
and
does.
Mike was like, "It gives me chest pain."
That's a second room, right? That's not your bedroom.
that's my room.
I've seen your room. It's been a little while.
Yeah,
but...
it's grown since then. Yeah. Well, Yeah. Well, hey, I'm doing research for our show. I'm like, this might be a perfect movie, so I buy it.
This is very true.
Hey,
Murray.
man, you're all going to come to me when the streaming thing collapses
Yes.
and people want physical media again.
That might be the next wave of Golan-Globus theater. Maybe I put up a Plex theater just for our action movies and start hosting it for our friends, and then people.
That sounds like work, and we don't do work, but it's up to you.
It's our level of work. It would be more money. Maybe if I ever go cancel that gym scholarship I have, or whatever the fuck they call it, scholarship.
Scholarship, gym membership,
Membership.
Gym you're paying for someone else to use the gym.
Oh man!
All right. You're welcome, people. Next week is the beginning of April, and I think the only fools are us because I think we're going to listen to our audience, which always is a horrible thing to do. I floated the idea a few weeks ago of doing action animation April.
We're gonna interesting suggestions.
We're gonna go through with it, even though it's gonna be probably doomsday for us. You guys aren't gonna show up.
We just went from the bleak months of February with every racist fan of ours says, well, I don't know about these blaxploitation movies. You guys might be racist.
We might be racist.
We might be racist. And then we hit our fucking stride by bringing Joe Coleman on.
Yeah, he's our life preserver.
All he does is talk about his dad describing dicks in movies.
We keep him in a glass case. It's break in case of emergency.
Right.
And then Joe comes.
We
out.
also keep him right here.
Right in our hearts.
Did you posted the same?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
and no one cared.
Yeah, no one cared.
Of course, no one cared.
Except for Phil.
We care.
Phil loves him.
Love you, Joe. And then we have Pigeon on, and then we do fun movies. Everybody shows back up, and now we're going to try something new. We're going to do an animation month.
Adult animation.
It's going to be fucking...
No Disney here.
It's going to be fucking awesome.
Right, and it's going to be... We're going to give you guys a break and us a break. These are going to be 2-hour or less episodes, because these movies... The good thing about animation, they're usually like 80 minutes.
Yeah, back in the day when it was hand-drawn and shit like that. Yeah, you couldn't...
So we're giving everyone a break. We're not going to have any guests on this month unless something pops up. But I think it's just going to be us. We need a break from the guests. We love our guests, but we understand 3-hour episodes in a row is a lot.
It's tough. It's... Oh, my God. We enjoy it so much, but it's fucking tough.
Right. So we'll end this episode by saying we're going to do the one... Started off, we're going to do the one I think everyone expects us to do. We're going to do heavy metal.
No, of course.
So look for that next week. Action Animation Month starts, and keep it warm.